Good morning, everyone. Sorry for the delayed start there. Hope you all had a wonderful holiday break. But it's time to get back to reality, and hopefully that reality for you is making money. So let's get a couple of you up here, and let's start talking about that. Let's talk about what's going on in the markets.
Yeah, hopefully my trading goes better than my weekend. I spent all Christmas sick.
Oh, bummer.
I'm right here with you. Just recovered from COVID. Third time.
Speaking of COVID, I saw that China's relaxed all the travel restrictions. Are they trying to export their variants of COVID to the rest of the world?
No, I think they're just trying to stave off economic collapse.
I know, but opening up international flights too? Geez.
Who's the beneficiary of China relaxing their COVID policies, though? What?
Definitely China.
Calls on Southwest. No, I'm just kidding.
Holy crap, they fucked up.
Oh, ouch. By calls, you mean phone calls to customer service, right?
Absolutely.
So does anyone have any plays they were carrying from before the holidays? Or did everyone close out completely before the
I had,
break?
I had a short dollar play, puts on UUP, so that looks pretty favorable into the open if that holds right now.
I still have 8.
Oh, when did you get into ape?
On Monday when it was like 67 cents.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
What is it at now? $1.47 or some shit?
$2.
Oh damn! So you're stacked.
I mean, I didn't put a lot of money into it because it's garbage.
Well, still, you should probably pull out half on a double and free roll the rest, as Hardy likes to say.
Oh, I've moved some out. I've got more than the money I put in out, so now it's just a nice little. I still think it has room to run, though. I think it's going to normalize to AMC's price eventually.
Nice.
I'm going to be a bastard and just say, as always, buy long-term SPY puts. You're going to make bank on those.
If you're looking at pre-market, Tesla puts might be the same. Long-dated Tesla puts, look into the $80 range. The Tesla puts are cheap right now apparently, and the premium's looking thick according to some people in some other chat rooms.
The puts are cheap? I can't buy that.
Isn't Elon supposed to be past some price point that causes him issues and forces selling or blah, blah, blah? I haven't followed the saga a bunch.
He's been recommending to other people to deleverage, get out of margin and all that stuff, so he may have been trying to do the same. I don't know where he is in terms of his collateral obligations now, but he may
Well,
be
he
pretty
tagged to
good.
the tits with margin, and he's going to go fucked once Tesla drops, I think, below $100.
Well, down another 5% in pre-market, so we're getting there.
You said 5%? It was down 6% a little bit earlier. Holy shit.
At least we can agree it's not up.
Oh.
So, what are you guys' thoughts on Southwest puts?
The news is already priced in, so what's the catalyst for Southwest going down even further?
Well, I suppose you could say, given that, as you said, the news are priced in, once a company has to basically cancel that whole operation, and given that we'll obviously at least land in a mild recession in the next couple of months, it makes sense to assume that a company which cannot keep up its operative business will, well, fall down even more.
I mean, business schools study Southwest and their success over the past many decades as a case study in operational excellence, but this is definitely not that. So I don't know if there's some sort of structural issue with that company all of a sudden, because I didn't hear the same issue out of any of the other carriers. And supposedly, these guys are amongst the best operators.
Hmm. Or you could say the tables have turned. But as I said, I think it's fair to assume, given, well, from a pure economics, macroeconomical standpoint, and also given that you could, if you're that so-called role model for operative business, and now you're basically getting butt fucked by your own company. I'm just saying, there has to be some sort of, as you said, structural issue, or at least some sort of issue with the markets. Although that wouldn't be the case, given that other providers or other companies are not as well fucked as Southwest. So I guess you could say there might be some structural issues, but when it comes to tourism or other transportation structural issues, or an issue that obstructs operative business, is probably one of the most fundamental problems when it comes to said company. By the way, if anyone's interested, I've got a little play for you regarding the energy sector. Depends on your personal risk tolerance, but well, let's say you're just going for a normal ETF. We can quite possibly imagine that nat gas prices and the oil prices, after, well, at least a couple of weeks of rallying, they'll fall down even further, given that we'll, especially in Europe, there'll be a lot of LNG terminals. Uh, well, all of the European states have formed a plan in order to subvert the effects of, well, inflation because of energy price increases, or yeah, and therefore supply will, in some way at least, be or will be getting subsidies by those states. As I said, those LNG terminals, basically liquefied gas terminals, will allow those states as well to, well, bulk up on overall natural gas, and therefore, probably, at least for the next couple of months, given that we're also in a recession, and as I said, the oil and gas prices are falling down. Um, it might make sense, at least at the moment, short term, to short the energy sector, and afterwards, depending, as I said, on your risk tolerance, to either buy into an ETF that represents or replicates uh, no, the energy sector, or specifically the gas or net gas and oil companies. Once the bottom is in, of course, perfectly timing the market is not as easy as it sounds, but at least buying at a certain low will allow you, at least in the future, after the recession is over, to, at least in my opinion, make some good profits. Logically, just thinking about it, there's always going to be an increment on the demand onto those well, resources, onto those fuels, because first of all, nat gas is the cleanest fossil fuel that we have in our, or that's available on our earth, and therefore um oil and all the other fossil fuels, in the future at least, might slowly die down. But when it comes to nat gas, as I said, one of the cleanest fossil fuels, and remember, extreme weather conditions due to global warming, Therefore, ACs in the summer and heating units in the winter will increase in their usage, so increase demand for those. While also we've got obviously an ever-growing population, and therefore an ever-growing industry. So demand will never die down in the first of all, and second, due to kick or pullback effects after recession. And I think we can all agree, after a couple of years, again, after the population is growing a little bit, um, and the industry will ramp up again even further. And logically, it just makes sense to, at least in the long term, invest in those energy companies because, again, demand will never die down. At least, okay, at the moment, recession, okay, but in the long term, demand will never die down. We'll always have a steady increase in demand again for those fossil fuels and those energy companies.
Okay.
And while also, please
Thank
don't
you.
forget, yeah.
Yeah, that is a very interesting play. Does anyone have other plays?
How bad was the storm in Texas? And is there a risk of ERCOT fucking up again? The reason why I ask is Chesapeake Energy, if I remember correctly, made a killing last time.
Well, I'm here in Texas. I'm over here in the DFW area, and the storms haven't really been that bad. Like, it's just been extremely cold, of course, but no big snowstorms or anything that matter. I mean, it might change come February. February is like, usually the month where it's like, gets like bitterly cold around that time. But later on this week, we're supposed to get into up to about the 60s actually, and just Texas weather being Texas weather. But I just want to go back to the whole airlines with the Southwest Airlines. So of course, like the main issue with them is that they had some really outdated software in terms of their time and attendance policies. In regards to that, I work for another airport, um, but I won't mention like which airport I work at. But I'm just seeing from the Southwest crews and staff that it's just a very very outdated time and calling policy. But end up leaving their flights and their pilot and crew stranded in different parts of the United States, and that's what ultimately screwed them over. So yeah, um, just a lot of issues going on with that, and it's not just like Southwest that's having issues. It's just that a lot of airlines have been doing a lot route cutting over the past few months. You can definitely see more cancellations here and there. Delta cut routes, Americans cut routes. I mean, seeing American Airlines and their baggage situation, oh my goodness, it is absolutely horrendous. And the amount of phone calls that we get. I mean, we're at the airport, we don't deal anything with baggage, but seeing like what American, how many times that American loses bags, it is absolutely pitiful. So just giving you guys a heads up if you ever decide to checking it back.
What are your thoughts on shorting Netflix?
It's had a nice little run. I mean, with that ad-supported tier, you could see people kind of hanging on to it in in a recession if one were to happen. I mean, I don't know. It seems like it wants to go up right now.
Didn't the ad thing flop?
It didn't flop at all in the test markets.
There's a
Netflix
huge
is
rising
at
wedge
gamma.
on the daily chart for Netflix that
Netflix is at
just
gamma
gapped down
max,
out of.
so I hesitate to stay bullish on it, at least in the short term.
But it just gapped down out of a rising wedge.
What does Fibonacci say? Fibonacci's rather.
Gentlemen,
Hello. What plays do you bring?
I am digging. Give me a few.
All right, we'll come back to you. What else we got going on? Just invited a couple more people up. By the way,
Good
if
morning.
anyone's
Sorry.
in the audience trying to get up here, raising their hand and seeing it just disappear, that is a Reddit bug. That is not us. Please be patient. We'll invite you up eventually.
Going off that, if you have that bug, what I have done is I've restarted Reddit, and it has gotten me the invite up. So if you have that bug, but aside from that, if you guys want to hear bad plays, I currently have SPY call credit spreads expiring today at 383. So I am hoping that we get a little bit of a drop so that I don't get screwed over with that.
Is anyone playing any coal plays or like any with coal in general?
I'm
Calls
playing
on
the spike calls.
calls on Yang, the China inverse ETF.
For that matter, I'd go for maybe a long-term core on what's it called? I think SQQ.
I'm just like wondering about the coal in general. Like the coal that it's like the center gives out coal. Like I'm in art resources.
Yeah. Oh, you mean
Yeah,
okay. You mean the
yeah,
fuel? Gotcha.
yeah.
Personally, I'd say, at least for the moment, it might make sense to have bullish, yeah. Or again, at least in the long term, bullish indicators, because again, oil and nat gas will fall down at least the next couple of months, and therefore, given that there's again still a relatively, let's say, not short supply, but Russia, Ukraine, the typical stuff. But again, call it, at least from a certain point of view, has bullish tendencies because after nat gas, it has been one of the most commonly used fossil fuels. So given that we have probably a little shortage, or maybe not a shortage, but at least in the long term, again, you can imagine that Russia won't be welcomed in the global market again. So there might be a continued shortage of nat gas, and therefore people might tend to switch to coal. But just a conceptual thing. I'm not quite sure though, because coal is not really my type of thing anyway.
Gotcha. Yeah, I've been with Arts Resources. Resources. It's been good for a play for me. Basically, their dividends are absolutely sickening. Like, basically about $10 per share that they've had for their dividends for quite a while. And the main thing is like with coal in general is that they already know that coal is being phased out already. So it's like one of those things where like they're not doing much capital expenditures on it, and the main thing is that they're focused more on free cash flow and like just basically kind of like paying it back in dividends. So I'm not sure. I mean, I know this is not particularly a dividend subreddit or anything that matter or anything about free cash flow. Everything is about mostly about option plays, but just kind of like somewhat heads up. It has its peaks and valleys. Like trust me, like I bought it a little bit higher, but it's starting to come back up again. But we'll see what happens for the next 2 to 3 months, especially with the whole China reopening play, and China, just having everything open up and just no more lesser quarantines and stuff like that. So interesting play.
By the way, great comment in the comment section. It's by Leopard, and it's actually, I think, a great counter argument to our hypothesis for fossil fuels, especially nat gas. He's basically saying that even though Germany, for example, one of the top, I'd say, or top countries for coal burning, basically. They've still burned more coal in the last year, less gas, and added more renewables. Great counter argument. What I would say in that case, though, is those renewables at the moment are just a better bet because, or rather, due to the I'd say, volatile nature of the fossil fuel prices, especially given that we don't know, well, we still don't know what will happen in Ukraine. Also, as you stated in your comment, yes, Putin has basically turned gas off, but the problem is, again, once those volatile times are kind of out of the window, most of those countries, we're not necessarily talking about developed countries, but or emerging markets rather, because those countries have the most fundamental, well, the most partake the most in our industry, and I think logically those are still rather inclined towards fossil fuels. That's why I'm saying, oh, it might make more sense, at least in the long term, to buy or rather be bullish on the energy sector, especially fossil fuels such as nat gas or oil, because the developed markets might, uh, as you said, add more renewables. But once those prices come down again to the normal levels, or at least to acceptable levels, demand will increase again. At least in my opinion, it's safe to assume there'll be an increment in demand over the years for, especially for nat gas, if of course it comes down to more acceptable prices.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Like, I definitely think that maybe who knows? Who knows? Like, maybe the industrial sector will probably be the dominant sector, maybe for the next 3 to 5 years, compared to the poor one that the tech sector has had. So who knows? Possibly. Like, I'm know for sure that here in the U.S. that we can have higher interest rates for a while. Like, definitely for the next 2 to 3 years, we could probably expect higher interest rates to basically kind of keep things downward, especially for growth. And so that's definitely going to be intriguing to see what happens with that.
Definitely, definitely. Also, by the way, another comment by this fine gentleman. As he says, he also provided some sources. Renewables will surpass coal as the largest source of electricity generation by early 2025, reaching 38% of the power mix by 2027, which is, again, a great information, because obviously being bullish on renewables is, at least at the moment, a logical decision, definitely. And even in the long term, it makes sense. We have to switch to renewables, otherwise, well, our world's fucked. quite simple. But again, as I said, I'm not necessarily talking about coal, because I'm actually talking about rather the oil and nat gas companies such as Exxon, Shell, etc., etc. As I said before, the chemical characteristics, the unique characteristics of nat gas is, as I said, being the cleanest fossil fuel out there, burning into CO2 and water, basically water vapor rather. But again, those especially companies that provide nat gas will still be in play and will have an increase in demand, logically, because, as I said, extreme weather conditions such as global warming will provide an increase in demand due, as I said, logically. So when it's fucking hot in the summer, you'll have to use your AC, and when it's fucking cold in winter, you'll use your heating units, logically. And most of those are still, at least those heating units are still powered by, most of them at least, are powered by nat gas. I'm not quite sure if, well, the nat gas plants have a huge impact on the electricity market. But what I can tell is, as the characteristic of nat gas being the cleanest fossil fuel, it's just meant, at least for the mid to long term, to still stay as a cheap and honestly quite handy alternative, because those technologies have existed and have been refined for at least over a century. So in comparison to renewables, who are not new in the market, but comparatively relatively new, and therefore, at least for the next 10 years, 20 years, having a bet or being bullish on the energy sector, especially, as I said, oil and nat gas, or especially nat gas, will, at least in my opinion, make you some good profits.
What do you think about uranium though? Like uranium, of course, we've had a few bull cases and things. I'm actually personally invested in uranium, like with UEC and Energy Fuels with that as well. They've given me some pretty good gains over the past like a couple of years. But do you put uranium into your energy plays as well?
I suppose uranium, especially the fusion energy, not scam, but the fusion energy visions. Personally, I think the market's still too volatile to truly invest in uranium, because fusion technology is not a thing of the far-fetched future. We can definitely see some prototypes in the next couple of years, but the problem is when it comes to the energy sector overall, or rather new technologies regarding said sector, we have to, at least as a consumer, we have to be sure that said technology is safe, fundamentally and technologically sound. So no bullshit towards possible safety threats for the population. And also we probably have to take care of the forever waste problem, because when it comes to nuclear energy, there's always been the problem where to dump the garbage. So at least at the moment, they'll still be cautious, but once the first prototype comes to fruition, I suppose investing in uranium, or rather the fusion energy technology, would make sense.
All right, I'm going to quickly chime in, but this has been a long topic, but you hit an area I actually deal with. Look, it's a very simple setup. It sells for $50. It costs companies $70 to pull out of the ground, and it's 18% of U.S. electrical generation. The price will ultimately go up just to meet market demand. But having said that, for nuclear, I think we've done plenty of talk about the energy sector, right?
Any plays on crypto now? You're saying it. Any plays on crypto in the near future for you guys?
Luna is actually shooting up. Look at, Luna's like up, I think 13% today, but not really. I'm just but it comes down to crypto. Bitcoin is like the main one that I buy into quite a bit. Like I only buy it mainly on dips, but yeah, that's probably the only type of crypto I kind of get into. But yeah, it's been a pretty crappy year for crypto in general.
So, what are your guys' thoughts on AMC puts?
Like, are you talking about puts on like the apes
Oh,
spin-off
no.
thing, or like
No, on AMC itself.
Silent, you're so late.
I would rather buy Ape than get puts on AMC. You have much more upside with Ape. Well, not more upside, probably more upside with the puts, but you can just wait it out with Ape, right? It's just eventually the vote happens and the shares will probably push a little closer to AMC's price. With the puts, you're just taking on a lot more risk, in my eyes.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. Like, pretty much with Ape, I bought into it back on Thursdays met that, and I'm already up 100% on that thing already. So, yeah, fun times.
Nice. All right. What else is out there?
Anyone doing NVIDIA puts?
Are you?
No, but I'm very much considering it.
I actually wait with those puts because I don't know. It depends. What kind of expiration date are you thinking about?
Well, what catalyst are you guys thinking about?
Probably
That's
like
what I was
end of
gonna
month,
ask.
January.
Oh yeah, and that yeah, okay. In that case, yeah, I go for those puts because again, there's no demand for those at the moment. Semis are going to get fucked this year, logically.
When does Nvidia do their earnings?
I think that is on Google. All right. Sorry for being snarky.
No, that was the only correct response.
No, that was really a good response. It's all good, man.
Their next expected earnings report is going to be February 15th. It's not set in stone. That's just when they're expected to give it.
Aw, you give a man a fish, feed him for a day, teach him where to search for earnings.
Apparently,
Make
Grinder
him
does
hot
their
rich.
earning calls around that date as well.
Well, I guess like the best way to buy puts is like close to the end of the Santa rally, since I think we've been in Santa rally mode for the past like 2 to 3 sessions.
Well, it doesn't feel like a Santa rally to me.
Is anyone
Feels
doing
like a
calls
Krampus
on?
rally to me.
Sorry, who?
We're all getting coal. Is anyone doing calls on S&P or no?
Yeah, I feel like people are playing. Actually, I don't know. I don't know what the common sentiment is on Spire anymore.
Well, he's saying S&P, not necessarily SPY.
You're short.
I meant SPY. I'm sorry.
We're at $10 each. I mean, that's pretty cheap. If that thing goes up at $18.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head. This is a Krampus rally. Krampus is coming and taking our gains because we've been bad little boys and girls and theys.
Crypto is having that little interesting, does anybody want to get in on it phase right now with that whole ADA and Algorand thing? I don't know. Adam's still got a 10% interest rate on it on Binance.
Well, if the APR is too good, you know what happens next.
Yeah, they might be trying to hoard the coin if it has some potential. I remember Adam was one of the ones that actually said it had a use case.
I'm just trying to imagine, like, if Binance reacted to fail, that would like literally put a dagger in the whole crypto industry in general.
I'm sorry, I can't hear.
No, I was just saying is that pretty much like if Binance were to go under, I mean, the whole cryptocurrency, that the whole general market would be absolutely destroyed. Like no comebacks whatsoever.
Well,
It
I
doesn't
think the
right
bull
now.
case for
Muscle spike too, and it's just like back to where it was.
I got a couple plays, boys. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Let's hear them.
Morning.
Real fast, I got paid on Ape last week. I think I threw a couple shout outs to Ape before it popped. And another one I had that popped was fuck what had popped. Look at NEPT for today. TRKA popped the other day when I said it would pop. I know they were clowning me because these are very low market caps, but I'm all about gains. I'll take 20% over negative. I'm gonna get the bag. But anyway, NEPT for today. And what else I got for today? Give me a second. My scanner is scanning, baby boys. GMTX. And I still think COSM is going to give us a little play. That's my 3. But Ape is paying dividend. I'm up 1,800 since Friday, boys. So, I'm sorry, Thursday. So, yeah, that's where I'm at right now. I got a couple more. I'm going to put them in the group here as they come across. And I think I gave you 3 this morning.
Oh yeah, sounds awesome. You are now our dedicated shit stock guy.
That's me, baby, but I'm gonna get money, so fuck it. I eat shit and get paper. ATNF. Let's get paid, boys. What does it matter? Like, you can chase stocks that are value stocks, but they don't want us to win right now, right? So we got to take our gains where we can take our gains. You know, I'm an ugly motherfucker when I wake up, but when I go to bed, I got the money. So fuck it. Let's eat, boys. WallStreetBets till the world blows up. I love y'all. Have a blessed day.
Fucking preach, Stay. Preach.
I mean, he did call those out last week. I'm just gonna say that. I'm not
He
gonna
also called out.
Lambo's out there.
Yeah, he also called out another 10 or 12 tickers last week. I recall. We're not hearing much about those, but I
mean,
appreciate
no, I didn't call out 10 or 12. Let's be fair to myself. I gave about 4 or 5. I did give Apron. It went down, but I got paid pre-market because I day trade, right? And as soon as the bell hit at 9:30, it ran up. I sold my shares and got the fuck up out of Dodge, baby. So I did not give that many. I gave what I gave, and it is what it is. I love you all. Let's get paid, baby.
When this guy said he was gonna go in on Ape, I totally doubted it, but it paid off.
No,
so.
dude, it's at $2 right now. So
Yeah,
Yes,
it paid
sir.
off, definitely.
Yes, sir.
we fucking called
Like,
it.
Bought
Thank
that
you.
back on
Probably still got
Thursday,
room to
and
run
yeah, man,
as well.
been balling. I must have put that more than $5.
Yeah, you gotta give credit where it's due, man. He called it, plain and simple.
Anybody
Anybody
made
else?
bank.
Good morning, everybody. Anybody else worried about buying options with the VIX up, 6.37% pre-market? I'm feeling like it's gonna take a dive, and I'm gonna be stuck with some heavy premiums for the rest of the day. Thinking about waiting after the open.
Well, I'd go for an earnings play, at least when talking about VIX. So I don't know if you're willing to take the risk.
I don't know. I just find whenever it's got a huge spike like that right at the open, I end up opening up a options position, and then an hour later into the day, all of a sudden, boom, the VIX is down, and my options, no matter how much I've gained on them, I'm not gaining a whole lot because the premiums get fucked.
Hey, to the guy that asked if anybody has calls on SPY, I'm not long calls, but I do have short puts on SPY leaps. If that answers your question.
Yeah, I have one Apple 135 call for January that I bought the end of the week, which was looking good pre-market, and now it took a turn for the worse. So I don't know. I might just hold it through the day and see what happens.
What's
was
your
the
strike
strike
and
price?
expiration? Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
January monthly, the 20th, and it's a 135 strike, sitting at 131.50 right now on Apple. I think there's hope, but
What about the guy who's doing the SPY puts, selling SPY puts? What's your strike and expiration?
It's 38.50. That's a strike. Oh, this is SPX. I have XSP, which is 370 as well. Expiration date is December 2023. So 1 year.
Sure.
By the way, boys, I've got a YOLO idea. Just go balls to the walls. Tesla puts 0 DTE, puts his A, balls to the walls. Sell those short-term calls. I don't give a shit. Just bury Elon to the ground. I don't give a fuck.
I'm thinking about doing some Tesla puts like from 9:30 to 10 and just get like a quick 20% maybe. I don't know.
The guy, are you shorting calls on Tesla? Did you say that?
No, I said
Zero
puts.
DT. Oh, puts. Okay. You're shorting puts.
No.
Okay.
I was going long puts and just.
Oh, long put.
If there's a
Okay.
retailer out there who's trying to make bank.
Just make those lottery tickets, man.
No. Try to sell those calls. I don't give a shit. There's always a retailer out there
to
buy your calls. Always.
Yeah, I'm about to buy your calls, man. I think you guys are too bared up.
Hey, you're 50% right.
Okay, let's go.
Yeah, Tesla just recently. I mean, I was wary to get in because I just said it can't keep going, and like I've never seen just a continuation of like the way it's been drilling, and I just missed entry after entry after entry,
Wait,
kicking myself.
For the Tesla guy, if you think there's going to be a large move, why not just buy the put side as well? Make it both call and puts.
As I said, I would just go long on puts and short burst calls.
Okay.
Quick question: when would you? Well, for the ones that are not against Elon, when would you think this stock go back up?
And I'm gonna say the beginning of the year when he can buy more.
when they appoint a new CEO.
When the company becomes less overvalued.
Well, I don't think it's more of a. It's not like people. Well, there are people that hate Elon, but it's more of market conditions, um, where automakers are just going to go down, Elon included, whether you like him or not.
And next earnings call, January, first week of January or something, it should pop.
I mean, that's you might be alone in that boat. I mean, even Elon is having cryptic tweets that it doesn't look like a good for the industry as a whole. Doesn't look like a positive outlook.
Yeah,
While
the
rates are
industry as a
rising.
whole is in big trouble, but
Yeah,
Tesla has got record on deliveries, and their new truck is pretty good, and their batteries are great, and they have no debt. So the next set of earnings calls is gonna separate them from the legacy auto dealers that are gonna be, if they're selling ICE cars, they're gonna be, if they're in debt selling ICE cars.
Well, I agree. It's just I don't think their stock price is going to reflect that as an industry as a whole. That's like saying Google is a good company, but we know that everybody in the tech sector is going down, Google included.
Well, he's still going to be gaining market share and probably
I'm not
earnings in the
disagreeing with
next
that.
quarter. Yeah, in the next quarter.
I'm just saying I don't think the stock price will reflect.
Yep. The earnings report should, though. I mean, the earnings report should show a stark difference between all the companies. We'll see what the stock price does.
It might have slingshot pretty fast too if all these people are holding puts, kind of like the Carvana. It'll just slingshot when everybody's holding puts.
Yeah.
Well, Elon,
probably.
Elon has
it's not hurting like Carvana though.
I'm just wondering because usually consumer cyclicals always suck during a recession, and I don't know. I mean, of course, earnings could be quite good compared to other years, but I don't know. Seems kind of risky for me to go long term.
He has said in interviews that he expects like a downturn well into like the second quarter of 2024 is when he personally thinks the economy and the market's going to rebound. And he's, people were asking him for advice as a CEO, like what he would do, and he said is to like keep a lot of cash on hand, make sure that you have free cash flow. So I think that's what Tesla's going to try and do, is show on their earnings report that they have a lot of cash on hand, and that they can weather whatever bumpy road they're going through right now. That could cause them to, take off.
Yeah, they had a record amount of cars in inventory, and his margins are so big they discounted the cars, gave out some free supercharging, and now they have less cars in inventory than they ever had. I mean, they just sold them like hotcakes.
How would you, on the weekend news regarding Tesla and their Shanghai operations, how would you take those news as regarding your play on Tesla?
I'm sorry, fellas. Real fast. Check out NEPT. I mentioned it, right? I jumped in at 42 cents. Talk to me. Where we at now? 8 cents up. Buy 20,000 shares, get paid.
He's getting paid, boys, while we are just shitting ourselves.
Gains over shit. Let's go.
I want to be like you when I grow up.
Did you say NAPT?
NEPT. I bought in at 42 cents, 20,000 shares. I just got out 2 minutes ago. I'm going to dump back in. I'm going to go back up. In and out all day.
And he talks.
Dang, 85% of pre-market.
So you go into stuff that's like up, like you'll look for something that's up 50%, try to catch the last 20, and then pop out, right? It's kind of your thing.
Well, I get up at 6 o'clock in the morning. I check.
The answer is yes.
Yes, there you go.
That's the strategy.
There you go, baby.
There's nothing, if that makes you cash, there's nothing wrong with that. Just, to let everyone know your thing is to find stuff that's already up big.
Well, no. See, what I watch it, I got a scanner. I scan, I do what it do. But the main thing is getting up early and doing your research. The market's open at 4 o'clock in the morning on the East Coast, right? So you just got to watch it. You got to watch the bids.
That takes work, though.
What do you look at in the morning? You look at the earnings report, or you look at some
No,
news?
I just
You look at the price.
I log
The
into
chart.
my E-Trade
You
account.
chart it.
I do chart it, but I'm looking at the level twos. Okay, so your level twos will tell you the bids and the asks, and I'm just watching it, and then I look at the volume. Okay, volume pushes.
What do you look at that?
Well, you have to pay for it, but it's within the E-Trade. You get the level twos for Nasdaq or whatever. You get the NYSE, the Nasdaq, the Montage, the ARCA. And you pay for that. You can look at all that. You can see what bids and asks are coming through, and then you use the volume to really. I mean, I don't give a fuck about
You
these
see the
stocks.
trend. You see the trend.
So
in
for
the
There you
those
go.
who don't
Reading
understand,
the tape.
level 2 screens basically show you the buying and selling volumes at different prices.
There you go.
That can sometimes be used to identify areas of weak selling pressure or weak buying pressure, which implies the price will move away from those levels.
So you're looking at that from the day before or at the moment in the morning
Well,
pre-market?
No, the order book is real time. That's if
Okay,
you
so
wanted to buy
pre-market real
10,000
time.
shares, you get the sum of the shares on your level 2 book on the level 2 view. That represents 10,000 shares, and then whatever the sum product of the price is basically your buy price.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
if you see,
Wait, so
if
is
you're at
there
a key resistance
the
level
early
and you're
morning part of it? Is that just
Well, so on the the markets are open, fucking
Yeah.
pretty much, So like just because we can't trade until 7 a.m. doesn't mean there's not money being moved, right? So I'm gonna get up early and watch this shit and just kind of see where the levels are at, what's the low, what's the support, what's my target price, and understand it. So by 7 a.m. I'm going in, and by 7:15 I'm out, and by 7:30 I'm in, and by 8 o'clock I'm out, and I'm gonna do all that shit before the market even fucking opens. And then once the market opens, I'm gonna let y'all play, and I'm gonna see where it ends up, and then I'm gonna buy in at the bottom, and I'm gonna take it out at the top. I'll set my fucking stop losses, and we just keep it moving.
But
how long did it take you to hone that
wait.
skill?
In all of that
I
routine,
fucking learned that skill losing money.
wait. In all of that routine, where's the cocaine?
No, I smoke high-powered marijuana, and that's what I do. I just focus.
Call that high power.
Here we go, baby. But no, seriously, I've learned it. I've been doing this. I've been trading since 1999. I've never really made a huge amount of money, but I've learned how to make the money and make it work.
Diapers in 1999.
It's
So
okay.
you
I'm 40.
just buy like 100 blocks for $1 and then sell them at $2. I mean, is that one of your strategies?
I mean, yes, there you go. It doesn't matter what the fucking ticker's name is. It's about making that green and getting out 10%, 20%.
Bang, boys.
There you go. Fuck these stocks. Fuck worrying about these fucking, they don't want us to win. 2023 is going to be a long fucking year. I own a retail business. I just understand that I've held on to too many bags, AMC. I got fucking caught in the hype, and I joined you guys when it started going, and I was just hyped up, just buying it. And I should have got out on June 2nd or 6th. I'm sorry, June 6th, 2021. And I decided to fucking sell my Tesla and buy more fucking AMC at $64 a fucking share. And I bought like 500 shares. So that part. So it is what it is. You know what? Fuck it. We live and learn. And I'm gonna keep getting paid. Fuck them. Let's go, guys.
Your company's a $16 million fucking company. Are you fucking nuts?
Nope. I'm crazy.
He's a scalper, guys. He just scalps
Yeah.
all day long.
Like,
That's
are you
pretty
here
much
to
it.
fucking marry these
Auto-volume.
stocks, or are you here to get paid? But ask yourself, do you give a fuck about these people that don't give a fuck about you?
Can we talk about Grindr, how undervalued it is?
You got it.
I have a question. So you don't go long term on anything?
Well, at this point in time, I'm fucking long term on AMC because I fucking played myself. I'm sitting on shares from February 2021.
So what, you don't have a retirement, bro, or anything like that? No retirement setup?
This is just fun money. I'll teach you guys something real quick. Look up a whole life insurance policy that pays dividends. So you want to get a dividend paying whole life insurance policy. That will kick you back, especially they have a S&P whole life insurance policy, not term. I use that as my retirement.
This guy fucks, man. I'm just letting y'all know.
And so that's how I do what I do. And this shit's just fun money.
25.
Nah, man.
I mean, I got to say, like, that it's not at all my strategy, but I respect the hustle, man. Everybody's got their own thing. Good for you.
Yeah, I did that briefly for a little while because I worked overnights. I'd be there pre-market like 4 a.m. and I'd see which there was a screener where you could see what's the biggest movers pre-market, and you could see what's moving with volume. And these are usually like just pump and dumps that are like organized or whatever, but you'd be able to, get in for 1,000 shares of
You
some
gotta
penny
be
stock or
smart.
whatever.
Don't fall in love. Set your loss. Get in your
Yeah.
value, in your money, whatever you can. My rule is only spend that you're willing to lose, like the money you don't fucking need. Shit that the bills, fuck the bills. The money that you don't need is what I play with. And then I never sell in the red for the most part. And I only buy companies that I see it, like you said, the volume. I'm looking for movers. Like, I'm not trying to sit here and fucking twiddle my thumbs and I'm gonna buy in here. Nah, man, let's get paid and go home. Shit.
Yeah, if you're gonna go with that strategy, you need to find something that has a lot of volume because you want to get in and get out, and these are often pump and dumps, so you could just get dumped on. I mean, I tried that for a while, and it's the win-loss rate ends up being kind of almost like 50-50. So I mean, it's kind of, I'm sure you're a little bit more well honed in on what you like to do, but it can be pretty risky.
Well, in Robinhood, they're going to absolutely like cut you whenever it comes to the price on the limit. So, I mean, if
First
you
off, get out of fucking Robinhood. They robbed the hood. Get the fuck out of there. They don't got no liquidity.
man, I'm advocating for that too. Right on.
Yeah, that shit's the fucking dumps.
For real, man. I'm on that for the dead of the life.
Oh, I had to jump up here real quick. Do not, in any way, shape, or form, listen to this guy's advice on whole life insurance. That is got to be some of the worst advice.
What are you talking about, bro? Like, do your research. Do you have life insurance?
I'm out. Please let me talk.
You got to talk.
I know insurance very well, and I know financial planning very well. Whole life insurances can be used in certain instances as a retirement plan. No.
That depends on what kind of money you got. Like the Rockefellers, the Rothschilds, that's what they do, buddy. That's what the fuck I'm doing.
I said, listen, okay, if you've got multiple millions, if you've got 100 million in the bank and you want tax advantage money, and you want tax-free money coming out, that's fine. Same thing with like annuities. If you want a specific reason and you know why you're buying it and you know exactly what you're going to get and what you're paying to get what you're receiving, whole life insurance is not an efficient way to spend your money. You're paying for insurance for someone to invest your money, make more money than they're giving back to you. Plain and simple, it's an insurance policy. It is not a retirement plan. If you want good insurance, you buy good term and you invest the rest. That's all you need. Goal would be
I have two terms and I have two holes. I pay $500 into all of them a month. That's $2,000 a month.
That is absolutely absurd. If you
Why?
invested,
You're going to give these stock companies? Go ahead, I'm listening.
This is not. Yeah, this is an insurance talk. All I'm going to say is that's not good advice, brother. I'm telling you. I'm just. It's you could do with your money what you want to do, obviously, and lots of people do it, but it's not good financial planning for 98% of people. All right, go back to stocks. Good luck.
Well said. Brother. Well said. Amen.
I got a housing market play. Hallelujah.
Dude, can I follow behind you on that housing market play too?
I also was going to say one thing. Warrior Trading is the YouTube channel. He's a huge following. He does what the day trade, looks at stock tickers. It's a pretty good following. He's got programs. There's a lot of ways to do the market.
Suit off.
Interesting. So I've been in new construction 20 years.
I will add
done
one,
6
I
or
will
7
add one
flips.
thing too, just real quick about the life insurance. I sold it for like 10 years. Whole life insurance, any life insurance is not an investment, a retirement strategy at all. If somebody sold it to you like that, they ripped you. They were lying to you. They misled you.
Yeah,
no, I just did my own research. I read a book.
Well, you did.
So
I'm sorry.
become your own banker.
I'm not.
No.
trying to
I
be rude,
mean,
but
everybody
you
has their
didn't
own
research it
opinion.
enough. You didn't research it enough. It is not a retirement strategy.
Bro, I'm my own bank.
Yo.
When my son needs a car.
Dude, I sold it for 10 years.
All right, I think we're done talking about life insurance. Like,
Neither of
someone
you are
says
gonna
it's
change
a
each
good
other's
idea.
mind. What's the next play?
Dude, I wanted to hear from the home builders because I got one too. I was looking at DR Horton. I'm not in the insurance industry, but I do work at a call center that does like third-party call handling. And all week we've been just slammed with calls from North Carolina and Virginia. Just all sorts of heat going out, AC going out. I noticed one community, DR Horton community, that was getting destroyed. and one caller told me it's because they are installing tankless water heaters on the outside of homes, and then those things were just freezing and popping, all up and down the community. So I don't know how long it takes for, insurance claims to go through for it actually to start affecting their stock price, but that's what I'm kind of looking at right now.
Pentair is a big company in the tankless resi water purification system market. So it's actually been on my watch list for some time. I didn't know about this risk. It's a good shout out.
That's a
to
tough
ENT.
one to call, though. I mean, you got to research their warranty and if they're actually going to have to pay for that. And that's a tough one to kind of follow through the money system.
Yeah, and I don't know how long it actually takes all that to settle either. Like warranties, I feel like could be 6 months to a year before it even does anything.
I mean, I got a feeling that it's the piping that's actually freezing and not like the actual tankless water heater itself that's coming apart.
That's exactly correct with the system that just came through.
It's probably a 15-minute plumbing issue, and everything nowadays is PEX, so they can legitimately just cut and crimp a new piece of pipe on there in 20 seconds.
You got
Okay, so it's really not going to affect their bottom line at all.
Two last minute plays. I'm looking at the IWM, the Russell 2000. It's gapped back down. It's filled the gap, and it's at a sort of weakish support area on the 30-minute chart. If it breaks through 174.40, that's going to be an awesome shorting opportunity. And it looks like gold's rolling over, and the dollar, I think, is about to take off a little bit. So keep an eye on that and short GLD.
I got one for y'all. Puts on LUV for Friday in the money.
Why?
Well, they're fucking canceling this whole canceling flights and all that shit. I just, fucking roll the dice. Wall Street bets.
Yeah, but how
Hey,
does
don't go fundamental analysis on us now, man.
Oh, see, I'm smarter than you might think. Whole time out now. Don't judge a book by its cover because I talk kind of slick,
Yeah, I'm also getting puts because CNBC told me so.
Nah, I was just looking at the shit. I was paying attention to the news. All the flights were getting all that shit with the flights. I don't know. We rolling dice or we fucking sitting on our hands.
But you're saying because they had cancellations over the weekend and the news came out, now's the time to get puts because it's going to reflect on their earnings.
That's what I was thinking. That's all. I'm sorry. I'm not that technical.
It's not technical. It's just logical.
No, right. I'm just talking shit. I'm a shit talker. Nobody. I'm not trying to offend nobody. But yeah, that's where it's at. I don't know. Just a good stock over $1 million.
Nah, it's just my question with anybody who's getting puts now. Why wasn't this the play a month ago or the previous earnings report?
Like I said, I was just looking at Thursday, Friday, looking at the news. It's down. Shit, roll some dice.
And we're
That was
open,
it.
folks. We are open.
Happy trading, fellas. I'm out. Have a blessed day.
Thanks, bro.
This is not something.
Is anyone playing Bros? That's Bros.
Oh my God, Tesla puts up printing money.
Nice. Maybe go down. Maybe Japan will go down and you can make money off of that.
Fucking shit.
Easy there now, buddy.
All right, how much are you up? Tell us.
Wait, it's got a green candle at the open, so just relax.
Well, I'm assuming that's all of the people who had those seriously big puts closing their position so they could take that money.
Yep.
Yep.
Deal's going down too.
Yep.
$5 Mizzou.
And the IWM is drilling, just as I thought after breaking. That's 174.40.
Spy, you're supposed to be going the other way.
Wait, SPY's going down, right?
Yep. And I'm making
damn right it's going down. Egon Targaryen said it would.
Like it should.
What I've been doing in the morning is I just buy a zero and at the money, 0 days to empty. I have about $200, and I just try to swing it for a few percent. It's interesting because it's a nice little hedge. I mean, if you're long an entire portfolio for the most part, which I am, I just use it as a kind of a daily hedge, kind of an interesting strategy.
Daily hedge.
Well, yeah, because the movements are so much more volatile, right? So I mean, even if you can make $100 or something, it's just a little bit of a hedge if you're long everything else.
It's your machine.
I think they typically say it costs like 5 to 7% to hedge a portfolio, just to give you guys an idea.
Gotcha.
Can I throw out a housing market play?
$20.
Go ahead.
So I'm in drugs regards VIX, DRV. I'm 40% up in it year to date. I built the house in 2019, sold it with almost 40% profit. To me, the gains of last year are just like completely unsustainable, out of control, and should represent more like 3 years of home growth. So what I'm seeing, 7.5 interest if you got a 720 credit score. Housing future doesn't look good to me near term. Thoughts?
Don't underestimate the Fed's ability to change and or prop up certain markets. And I think they understand how important the housing market is. They don't see that they've broken it yet, at least in their mind. There are a lot of people that disagree with that, but they don't think that they've broken it yet. They think this is just kind of a bump in the road. I know that there are a lot of folks that are offering like free refinancing after 8 to 12 months, again, hoping that the interest rates come back down. And I also know that home builders have a decent amount of margin in there, and they are buying points to get interest rates down. And they're also wheeling and dealing. There's a significant amount of money that they can kind of put back onto the table to kind of make entices. I think actually home builders are a very interesting long play at some point. When you get in, I don't know, but it's one that I'm trying to understand more.
Okay,
home builders are correlated. They're correlated with yields.
But I kind of disagree with you on that the Fed doesn't know what they're doing. Because if they did know, well, if they didn't know, they wouldn't be taking owner's equivalent rents into the CPI metric.
I'm not sure I understand what you mean.
They would be taking market rents instead of owner's equivalent rent.
For those that are in Tesla, they have their earnings calls on January 25th.
Oh, and by the way, speaking of home builders, they track very closely with the bond yields. So the 10 years up right now, heading back towards 4%. So that's gonna make the home builders kind of take a dive. There was a pop recently once we leveled out. When we sort of, had a little mini crash in yields during that last rally. But yeah, you're not going to get a nice long play out of home builders until.
Yeah, here's my thought behind that. You got a lot of houses that are really low mortgage rates that don't want to get out, and you got a lot of people that now are in high mortgage rates that are going to look to refinance. But if their home value goes down, they're not going to be able to flip the home. They're just going to have to refinance. Home builders have an opportunity to come in and sweep up or take advantage of all these people that want to move, but that don't have the ability to buy, or that there's no houses open to buy. So that's my thing. I think they have a potential to have a supply and demand balance and a demand in their favor. And that's, I don't know. That's my thought.
On the disposable income tip, Macy's is steadily rising. If anybody needs cheap ass options.
I always like some good Macy's plays. It's fairly
easy. Yeah.
Yeah, and SPY is starting to dump here a little bit.
Yep. SPX is free falling almost.
Yeah. Those 382 puts, I bought at 135 or down up to 190.
I think it's time we talk about bags. Who has bags?
Oh God. Was he my Palantir bag?
Up 100.
Which bag do you want? Palantir?
Palantir.
Yeah, my Palantir bag is at 18. I'm down 5,500 on my calls. My January. Again, listen.
Okay,
January 2023 $40 calls. They got a shot?
I mean, when Palantir came around, I didn't have options, so I bought shares and bought at $29.50.
I'm
Ooh, shares.
sitting at 18.32 on my cost basis on my shares. I have 200 shares, but I actually have. I've started to sell puts down at this like $6 range because they've kind of found us a resistance here around $6. And if I start accumulating shares down at $6, I'm not going to be totally upset with that. I do think they're an interesting long-term play 5 to 10 years out.
Are you wheeling and dealing those sold puts, those short puts?
No. I just hold on to them and then I roll them if I can make money on the roll.
Trying to cushion that blow?
Yeah, at $80 a month.
This is amazing.
Yeah, let's see. What's my SoFi? I got a nice SoFi bag.
Ooh.
800 at $18. That's a pretty nice one.
Holy crap, I don't feel so bad now. My SoFi bag is $5.14.
Oh God, quit! But that's not a bag. That's like that's a clutch. Get out of here.
But I got over 200 some odd shares. That's all right. That's pretty decent.
800 at 18.
So I got a quarter bag. Okay, so I got a quarter pounder. I got a quarter pounder with cheese.
Yeah, I'm selling short calls on the 800 though. Again, listen,
I got a bag. I got a SPX 4800 short call. I got it at 360. It's worth 416. So I'm down about 5.6K.
My bag is Shopify. I'm down like 18 G's on it.
Shopify was the one call I made to a friend of mine like 4 years ago. It's to this day it would have been the greatest stock play I've ever made if I had money at the time, but I was broke.
Are they still your friend?
Yeah, he accidentally bought like 250 shares and got nervous and sold them, and he went to buy 25. And he went back and calculated like 4 months later what he would have made, and it was like 1.4 million or something absurd. And I'm just like, yep, you're a pussy.
Well, this is Wall Street Bets. Everybody go buy Camber Energy right now. Come on.
Say that again?
I'm just joking, man. I'm just joking, please.
Oh.
Mic check. Didn't they just 1 for 50 reverse split?
Quick question on SPX. So like if you use like TD Ameritrade,
yeah,
and you do like 0 DT and you let it go to 4 o'clock, like you just let it expire and send the money, they cash settle it.
It's cash settled, so I'd assume so. You don't get an exercise.
You don't get it basically.
You don't get assigned.
Okay. I hear that discussed a lot, like on the Reddit side. I just wanted
Yeah, so you don't have to worry about getting assigned or having enough money to handle those shares if you do get assigned.
Right on. Do you guys, for those that play 0 DT, I've seen a lot of nice gains where you pick stuff up at like 8-10 cents, ride it to 40-50 cents, kind of a lotto mentality. Do you feel it's better to do it really cheap, like out of the money like that, or spend a couple bucks and go closer to the money?
Well, I'll tell you what, the biggest plays are far out the money, but also those are the riskiest. So risk reward, right? The good average gains that you see, those are closer to in the money.
Yeah, but those still move pretty violently. I mean, if you're going like 60 delta, which is like 3, I don't know, I shouldn't say that. It depends on what ticker you're looking at. If you go like 3 or 4 strikes away, I mean, they're going to be 8 to 15 cents or 5 to 15 cents, but those will move 5 to 10 cents in a matter of 20 seconds, and that's the problem, is they go up and down that fast.
I don't disagree. But it's all relative. I mean, if you think 60 delta, excuse me, if you think 60 delta moves, imagine what 90 delta moves. It's just based on perspective, but generally speaking, closer to at the money is less risky than far out the money. generally speaking. But also, at the money has more state of decay than far out the money.
What the fuck's Tesla doing, by the way? Oh my god. Yes.
Did you say Tesla?
Yeah.
Okay, talk about these bags though. Who has Tesla bags?
I don't have any Tesla bags. I was buying puts and CFDs, short
I got
CFDs.
some Tesla bags. It's only like 15 shares, but I'll admit to it. I also had a little
15
bit of
shares.
SoFi too. Yeah.
Classy.
I also had SoFi at $15.
Yeah.
I think Porch is another one, but I actually don't mind having the Porch bags. I've slowly sold calls against them to where I'm almost even.
Fuck, what is going on here?
I have some bags. I got suckered into that.
Has
stupid
anybody
gold,
checked
the
Max
gold
Pay
mine?
for Tesla?
Say that again. What ticker?
What's max paying for Tesla?
Somebody was saying at 120 they had to they were gonna get margin called and shit, but I didn't actually read that in the news. It was somebody in there who said that.
Whoever bought Tesla calls,
Rip.
don't delete your
Rip.
app. You don't
Rip.
want to see that.
Rip.
It
I
might be a good
Tesla calls
idea
for
to
next year, but
whoever bought Tesla calls might be a good time to call your tax strategist to see how much money you can write off.
Tesla,
only
the
write
current
off
max paying
$3,000 of your
on Tesla
losses
is 138.
against other income. So good luck with that.
Say, go ahead. What was that, Hardy? Go ahead.
You can only write off $3,000 of your trading income or investment income against other income. So have fun with that.
Well, there you go.
Leave on, die. Come on, Tesla, die faster. Come on.
Yeah, we'll be rolling I'll be rolling losses until my mid-40s for sure.
Little pullback on Tesla at the moment.
I love seeing those 52-week low alerts come down in the corner of the screen, just one after the other. That's when you know you just hold on to those puts.
everything you own, 52-week low, 52
Okay,
week
boys, diamond hand those puts until end of day. I don't give a shit.
Shaky.
Just do it. Just fucking do it.
Cheeky bastard.
Okay, so.
Somebody said on the chat that they have $43 DWAC.
By the way, who wanted to buy my calls earlier? Who wanted to buy those calls on Tesla? I just say.
So on Tesla, the highest call open interest strike is 150, and the highest put open interest strike is 120. So 120 on the low end, 150 on the high end. It's a pretty big. It's a pretty big spread there.
Well, a lot of volatility, so.
Yep.
Yep, that definitely widens the spread.
Those Russell 2000 puts are up 140%. Time to scale out of this bad boy.
I just want to see Tesla falling down to 110 today. Just 110. And I'll be.
Well, the good news is for anybody who's trying to buy calls is that calls are cheaper now if you want to take the risk and buy them.
If you want the lottery tickets, just buy those calls.
What was that?
Well, if they want a cheap lottery ticket, just buy those calls.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If anybody has the balls to do that, might be a good opportunity if you're.
See what like a 6 month to a year call is. That's still
Yeah, could be a leap call. Could
Well,
be
I was thinking
a
about just
long-term leap
averaging
call.
down. If it starts hitting, 100, I might just start averaging down.
With calls or with shares?
Well, I was gonna do it with shares. I'm gonna check the leap call prices.
Are you talking
See
about
which one
Tesla?
I can afford? Yeah,
Yeah,
because I'm
he's
kind of
talking about
broke.
So,
So.
Just be careful because Tesla still has a super high market cap, and if the market's gonna, for whatever reason the market sentiment changes on Tesla and they don't want to value it at, X amount, it still has a ways to go. I mean, it can drop well into the, low mid 70s. I don't know. I think at 80. I think I heard it's still at 20 times earnings. So I mean, it's still not being valued as a car company. And the later it gets into its growth cycle, it's going to become more like a standard car company if the other businesses don't pan out like I think they were hoping. So I don't know, just don't forget that they can go a lot lower. Just because they're down 50%, they can go down another 50% from where they're at.
Well, I mean, you're talking about price discovery. Well, my question to you is then, where do you think, in your opinion, where do you think the market will price Tesla in?
I
At
have
what market price or what PE?
absolutely no idea. You had Kathy Wood say it was 1,000, it went up to 1,000. You had other people that said it wasn't worth anything and it was going to go bankrupt. You gotta.
What does Jimmy say?
You got to do your own research.
By the way, if I had to give at least an educated guess, for the long term, I'm not quite sure, but at least for this year, I can definitely see Tesla hitting 100, at least 100, if not lower. But I think in the hundreds,
Which would give it a PE of what, around 25 probably, which is around what the market PE is, right? What the SPY is, like 23.5 or something.
So you're
At
saying by Friday?
$90, it gets a forward PE of about 20. So
at
take
what
that
was that?
At $90, it'll
At
have a
$90.
forward PE of about 20.
There you go.
So
There you go.
do with that what you will.
Wait, is that what the other car manufacturers have, a PE around 20?
Oh God, no! They're at a PE of like what, 5 maybe?
It gives it a bit of a premium, but you can argue Tesla deserves a premium.
Well, that's for whoever's trying to buy the dip on Tesla, just take this information with grain of salt.
Yeah,
It,
most
it
car
looks like
companies
it looks like it has a longer way to go.
But keep in mind, it's never that easy, right? If it was so easy as to just say, oh, at XPE
Exactly.
to Y, then that's what we would do.
Well, that's why I said what's the PE relative to whatever the industry is for Tesla. And then, it's up to whoever's trying to buy the dip on that.
Yeah, the
You know
tough
what I
thing about
started
Tesla.
enjoying when I buy the dip is like just set like a rate. So like every 5, like you buy a couple more every time it drops like a certain amount. You just buy a little bit more. I've been doing that with this Warner Brothers. Every 50 cents it goes down, I just buy like another 10 shares. Nothing to break the bank, but have a little set buy limit.
Maybe you should increase that percentage instead of 5 to like 10 or 15.
Yeah, well, I'm a pretty broke boy. I play with my leftover paycheck.
Okay. Well, Godspeed,
Godspeed, yeah.
All right, I'm doing it. Bringing back the elevator music.
By the way,
Ooh, hit us with the elevator music.
I think that's Tesla valuation.
One, two, three.
To value it a little lower than expected, just because consumer cyclicals never quite perform during times of recession. I'd rather go for an insurance company or something similar.
Wait, what were you referring to?
The Tesla valuation we were talking about earlier.
Tesla, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Also, funnily enough, those utilities, or rather those providers we've talked about earlier as well, energy and all that shit. Honestly, I can see them dropping as well because they've got high maintenance costs in order to get the products onto the market. So if I were you, would just dump all my money into stuff that's anti-cyclical and also just I don't know, Coca-Cola, and has a low maintenance cost and low cost structure.
Right. So I want to switch over to utilities because I know somebody posted a play I think it was yesterday, and their rationing was because it's winter and demand is going to be high for this season. So it was a seasonal basis, or a seasonal thought that they had. And they thought because demand is high for winter, it's going to reflect on their earnings. So they went YOLO, 36K on calls for some energy company. But couldn't it be said both ways that if that energy instead of rallying could actually drop because there's less demand for it because people can't afford as much, or no? I mean, that's what happened with gas recently, right? Gas rallied hard in the summer, and now that it's winter, gas is just dropping here in the Northeast.
Are you talking natural gas or gasoline gas?
Just gasoline gas, not natural gas. That's whole different, I know.
You got to heat your home, but if the price goes up, then the supply generally catches up later.
I would say home utilities are more stable than like you don't have to drive as much.
Okay, let's talk about that thought that supply catches on later. So if supply catches on later, then there will be no rally for, let's say, utility companies pretty much, right? The supply is catching up to the
Utilities are
demand.
kind of utilities
Well,
are
it's
where
volatile,
people
right?
go
It'll go
during.
way up and it'll go way down if like there's a big storm.
You guys are
But you
wrong
have
about
to-
energy prices. Energy prices are about to go up really high because of China's reopening.
There's
2023, you need to
there's a
invest
difference
in
between
oil
energy
and in
producers
China.
and utilities.
How could you? Serious question. How do you invest in oil when it's like probably the most manipulated market in the world? That's a serious question.
No, that's a good question.
Full lock, honestly. Unless you're investing in the companies.
Well, my question was more about utility companies than just oil.
Are you talking about energy producers, or are you talking about like power distribution companies?
Like let's say like Duke Energy.
Okay, so yeah, they would be like a producer.
Okay.
And they had a super stellar year. And right now, a lot of people are probably taking profits because they're like the only winners year to date, pretty much. Them and healthcare, but there is sort of still a lot of like tailwinds for energy producers going into this next year. But it's a very kind of crowded sector right now, and
Okay.
a lot
Can you
of
expand more on
companies
the tailwinds though?
they're already at all-time highs, but like the tailwinds are just like the energy shortages throughout the world, the producers and inability to get going and get new wells going and get new exploration going due to regulations. And there's OPEC and Russia, and there's just like oil is a very kind of global sort of political commodity. And
So does anybody know anything about how China formed their gas deal with Russia? I mean, that concerns natural gas more, but crude's involved with that.
well, yeah, that's
But
another
does
big
that affect the
tailwind for-
worldwide market?
Yeah, well, when China comes, everyone's assuming that when China opens up completely and gets back up to full like operational,
Which is happening
operational
right now.
status, yeah, there's not enough current supply to meet the demand that would be showing up in the market when China goes, full throttle. So that is a big concern for a lot of energy traders. That's why a lot of
Calls on China, calls on
Just a
oil.
general question, by the way, guys. How long has China been closed for?
I'm sorry, what did you say?
How long has China been closed for?
What is it, like a month now? 2 months it was official?
2 months. Okay, because
Well, I mean, they've been at various stages of lockdowns since the pandemic. They've never been fully opened up yet.
Oh, because I was kind of logically, obviously, there was a connection between dropping prices and energy prices and China's being closed.
Has anyone seen where China's at on the rioting? for like a week, I was seeing about all these terrible riots, and then all the news on it just like stopped.
Well,
That's
it's strange
that's the way.
because you got to see the different perspectives on those protests between like Western reporting and then like Al Jazeera and then sort of like the BBC. Like according to the West, it's because they want to overthrow the government, and according to Al Jazeera, it's because they just want you know, a little lighter kind of control on PCE tests, and they just like want people. They just want their lives back a little bit. They just need the government to
I mean,
chill out.
They wanted
what
the
I
lockdown
read,
to end. The lockdown is kind of easing their protests. Opening back up is stopping the protests.
Yeah,
well,
the Western
basically
media.
what I had read was the protests were basically they're upset about the lockdown measures and they wanted them they wanted to get rid of the lockdown measures. They were upset about those.
Yeah, but it's kind of there's some Western media outlets are spinning it as like they want to overthrow Xi Jinping and they're completely over the the party and that it's like a democratic revolution, but
Which represented a lot of.
Where were you seeing that?
It's around factories. It was around factories that a lot of these, protests sprang up.
'Cause I did see that on YouTube too. Some guy had a camera out there, and they were chanting like, "We want democracy now."
YouTube, source of media.
Might be a man
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of pent-up frustration, but it was, and they were chanting about all kinds of things, but it was basically the lockdown. People burned up in a building because it was locked, and that's kind of started it all. And then the government says, "Whoa, let's open back up." So they're going to be relaxed for a little while before they start chanting again.
Yeah, the fire kind of set it all off because people are just kind of sick of being under lockdowns. But like they have to be careful because like this like the zero COVID thing was like that was Xi Jinping's like that was his fucking baby, so he has to like step back from it like gently, and not make it look like it's like a mistake. So it's kind of gonna slowly unwind right now, but they've started. So
yeah, they control the media there. They can keep them happy and
Yeah, they've also talked about trying to law factory operations back to the United States. I mean, I don't know if that's really practically ever going to happen, but they're talking about more than they were recently.
well, yeah, there's a big kind of assumption that we reached peak like globalization, and that going forward that like we can't kind of continue with having all our supply chain eggs in the China basket. So like we need to sort of onshore a little bit of.
And it's funny because you see the Philippines where you would think manufacturing would go, and they're in an absolutely horrible situation. There's not a lot of other options out there right now. That's a really good point.
Hey guys, can we go back to talking about bags?
Yeah, I was about to say.
Here, I got
The guy from that '70s show.
No.
I got some Roblox bags that are pretty heavy. Bought in at 60.
Say it.
Yeah, bought in at 62 on Roblox. Rode it up to 100, didn't sell, and now it's back to 25.
Was this shares or?
Dude, this is shares on margin.
Oh no!
So I'm slowly selling calls just to pay my margin interest.
Why didn't you sell, or why did you enter that?
So my homeboy told me like all of his nieces and nephews and shit were just addicted to Roblox.
Why would you ask? Why would you say why did you?
Nice. Wait. So what's the position size?
It's only 100 shares.
Okay, still that's a good
It was about
portion.
6,000. Yeah, but I'm down more than half, so I'm looking at 3,000 red.
So the thesis was trust me.
Yeah, well, I mean, I saw all the kids playing it. Kids were like heavily addicted.
So you guys gotta speak one at a time. Go ahead. Your kids? Or nieces and nephews?
Oh no, I said I saw the kids were playing it heavily, but I didn't do much research into the actual money making side of the company, which was my fault.
I still don't know what they do. Is it like Legos or some shit? Like what it?
It's a sandbox game.
Yeah, it's a little sandbox video game, but they have like users can build their own like add-ons and stuff. It really reminded me of like StarCraft, where you could have all those little mini maps and stuff that people could play, but they just don't really make money because unless you're like buying the gift cards for customizable items, it's just users making games and users playing games, and most of it's free little indie stuff.
I won't lie, they almost got me too when they IPO'd. I was gonna buy like 200 shares at like 67 or something around there.
Yeah. I mean, it ran up to I think almost like 120 for a second there. Maybe even 140 was the top. Now that I'm looking at the chart.
Yep, 141.
And then they got all that like metaverse hype around it too, so that kind of boosted it.
Well, it was predominantly just the amount of kids that were on it during COVID. They had a ton of influx of people.
Yeah, but I think it doesn't really cost anything to play. So unless the kids are like, I did have people at work whose kids were stealing their credit cards to buy shit on Roblox, and I thought that was funny. But if it's free to play, unless they're actively like buying, skins and clothes and stuff, I guess it's just not a money making business.
Yeah,
it's funny because
I feel like all free.
I feel like there's always one of those companies where like some billionaires are like, what are the kids doing? And then they're like, what are my nieces and nephews doing? And then like there's always one hot company that's like what the kids think is fucking cool for like a year.
Are you looking to sell those anytime soon or hold on to those?
No, my basic premise is just keep selling calls against it. It's so volatile. I get pretty good premiums whenever I roll. Usually I can roll for a good 100 or 200.
By the way, guys, there's someone talking about peak globalization. Honestly, I don't think we've reached that point because we can just take out our eggs of the China baskets and just, reroute them towards, undeveloped country or Africa, emerging markets such as Brazil. I mean, Brazil's oil companies are getting fucking rich by demand, basically.
Yeah.
Anyway, so you selling those calls, those covered calls, are you able to make any payments towards the principal that you owe?
Yeah, I mean, I've got a lot of shit on margin to be blunt, but yeah, my margin principal is going down.
Yeah, typically on a cover calls kind of thing, you're gonna pay back your principal depending on how deep in the money you go. If you buy like a 1 year out, anywhere between like 12 to 14 months normally. Kind of depends on the premium and how far out delta you go. You can get it back quicker, but it'll take you about a year to get your capital back.
Yeah, it's got huge premium, and I'm rolling like the monthly calls too, so
can
I think it adds up a little better than doing years.
Can you sell covered calls on a cash account? Anybody know the answer to that?
Yes. As long as you hold the shares, you can. That's why they're called covered calls.
Well, because I tried to do that once on my Fidelity cash account, and it said it'll leave me with an uncovered cash position, and I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? I have the shares. Like,
can you really? I'm pretty sure I couldn't do that with TD. You have to have a margin account.
Yeah,
well, I have a cash
Fidelity,
account,
you have to register.
Yeah, you have to specifically ask for permission to do options trading.
You got to tell them what kind of car you have so they can come and take it.
Well, I have options trading enabled on Fidelity, but they just like I tried it once on to sell covered calls, and it said I had an uncovered cash position, and I'm like, what the fuck? I have money, I have buying power, and I have the shares. Like, what's the problem here? I'll have to just call them and figure that shit out.
Did you have like a stop limit or anything set too?
No, they weren't tied up in anything. They're literally just rotting there. It's actually is one of my bags. It's that shitty gold mine that AMC invested in. That's probably gonna get delisted. HYMC is the ticker. Yeah, I got like 1,500 shares of that just rotting away, and I really want to do something with that crap.
I don't know if do you need to be approved maybe? I don't know if that's the issue. Are you approved to, or do you have the necessary?
I can trade options. Yeah, no, I do trade options on that account. with Fidelity, but I just need to call them. I don't like calling customer service for anything on the phone.
Gotcha.
Sometimes those tiny companies too, it's hard to find somebody to actually sell the call to.
Yeah, there's actually some pretty consistent action on the dollar calls, which will always expire fucking worthless. Because that company's just, they're a gold mine that doesn't fucking mine. So, but all the apes will continue to buy dollar calls, pretty consistently.
Pretty sure you can chat with them if you'd like, instead of getting on the
Yeah,
phone with them.
yeah, I'm gonna do that today, actually. Now that we brought up the bags, reminding me of my bags. Thanks, guys.
Anybody else with bags? Anybody selling bags?
I'm Bald Steve and Coca-Cola.
Oh God, my largest bag is probably a company you've never heard of called Latch, LTCH. Yeah, that's been a rough one. That's a bag with a couple bricks and maybe an anvil in it.
What was that second?
LTCH. Latch. I actually still like the company, and they're actually valued right now lower than their assets. It's a value play at this point, but good God, like these low mid-cap stocks, and they were a SPAC, so there's a lot of things going against it, but I actually do like the company, and I love the founders and the owners.
Gotcha. I just looked at the chart. It's just been, it's just been
It's been an
dipping.
absolute nightmare. They make like home access, like security things for like businesses and or multifamily homes, and it's like a good business, and they've got great, phenomenal products, and they're in a lot of places, and they're selling them decently, but they lose money on the hardware and they make money on the software, and they're trying to follow a similar model to Apple because they have some Apple execs and programmers that built the company. So they're selling their hardware to loss, and then they're selling 89 or 90% margins on the software.
Are they like kind of like Ring, like sort of?
Yeah, they're a much better version of Ring, significantly better, more industrial, and then they have again the software, the back end that goes with it, so you can unlock, like your UPS lockers if you live in a hotel, not a hotel, an apartment. You can control your thermostat. It's like the big thing, obviously, is like changing locks and certain things. If you live in a multifamily.
Sounds like they just need some marketing or something. I don't know.
Well, they're marketing within their own space. They just, again, have been taken out with the bathwater. I mean, they grew their sales like 122% during COVID, but they're still itty bitty. I don't know. It's one that I've held on to. I've sold some of my bags. I've got some really, really bad plays during COVID that went way up and then went way down.
Wait, isn't the overall, don't most of their margins come from hardware sales than the software?
No, it's the exact opposite. They lose money
Okay.
every one they sell. But the goal is, listen, like, I mean, if you read their SPAC again, like some of those SPACs, dude, you're like, damn, this company's gonna be fucking great. And it's like they don't hit their goals, but they were talking like 8 out of 10 or 7 out of 10 new apartment buildings are instituted with Latch, and they've never, to this day, I still don't think they've ever lost a customer, because once you put these in place, they are so hard. It is such a sticky sale. So that's why it's like, listen, we'll give you the hardware, and they get paid up front. So they get paid up front on like 6-year contracts. It's the business model is like, I'm telling you, it's a stellar business model. I just don't know if they're going to have enough cash to survive, and otherwise they'll probably get bought out by like somebody like Honeywell or someone.
Yeah, I was gonna say, are they a buyout like candidate? But
I'm hoping. I mean, I like businesses that put what I call money printers up. Like everyone they put up is a money printer for X amount of years. Yeah, they may cost some money to, like, I don't know, repair and refurbish and some stuff, but the more money printers you put up, at that point, it just becomes about scale, right?
Sir, at what point did you buy?
At what point haven't I bought? I don't know how I probably bought 8 to 10 times. I got 2,300 shares. My average cost basis is $751. I stopped buying.
Yeah,
I'm
that
down
reminds me.
11 G's.
That's a
Very,
big drop there.
very off topic, but Kathy Wood is taking a huge L today.
Everybody's taking a huge L today.
Wait, who did you say was taking a huge L?
Kathy Wood.
Oh, please, that's just another Tuesday.
You're saying that because of tech, or you're saying that because she bought Tesla? Or overall?
Roku, Tesla.
Okay, gotcha.
I think someone
Coming
figured
to the
out-
stage
someone-
to yell at everyone, Loose Ventures.
I think someone figured
Oh,
out Kathy
no.
Wood over 5 years. Her return
Hello.
over 5 years total was like 5%, and that's including like the madness of 2021.
Merry Christmas, bag holders.
Merry Christmas.
I just got to keep my life vest on, bro.
Oh shit,
How-
Luce is here. He just
how
reminded
many-
me of that day we were talking about the titty play, like the breast implant play. I totally forgot about that.
How many of y'all gave
Merry Crisis.
terrible advice to your relatives?
I'll raise my hand for that one.
Mine are too drunk to listen, so
My dad's underwater on crypto.
I had a
What's-
Chinese Christmas, and I was surrounded by old gambling Chinese women.
All
And-
smoking cigarettes?
No, they were indoors. They would have
They
been
playing mahjong.
No, just eating
Go.
and talking some Chinese stuff I couldn't understand. But once I convinced them that I knew my shit with stocks, every single Chinese woman was asking me advice on what stocks to buy because they're all losing money. And then I asked every one of them, was like, what's their biggest holding? Every single Chinese woman said their biggest holding was Tesla.
Baba. Oh, come on. They're not even they're not real Chinese people.
No, they're pretty damn real.
Tesla, huh? What was her second biggest?
No, they had different holdings. It's just every single one of them had a lot of Tesla shares. And I actually like convinced a lot of them to change their portfolios.
Wait, did they tell you why?
So several of them had cost basis of Tesla at like $40. One of them was like under $30. And I told them, I was like, why didn't you diversify? One of them I told a year ago to diversify to get some gains because they had like 50% in Tesla. And she was like, thanks, but I don't need your advice. I was like, okay, see you in a year. And then she lost a shit ton of those gains. And then she said, well, I'm still making money. I was like, that's not how this works. Like, you lost like 50% of your profits. That means you're dumb. See you on Wall Street Bets.
that's exactly the same story with me and my boss.
She-
That's hilarious.
She never said, "Hey, Luce, I was wrong. Come here, baby boy."
No, she was literally like, well, still the second part, but the first part, no, she never said like, yeah, I was wrong. She was just like, but I'm still making money, and she wants to go to the casino actually, like a bunch of Chinese women. I'm talking, they're like 70 years old. They're like, let's go to the casino, and they just like throw money, like I think they're all single and they just want to spend a shit ton of money at the casino.
Oh,
They all
I'm
have their own
confused.
room.
Why were you with these women?
Friends of the family.
That's funny. It makes me think what percentage of Tesla shares are like locked up in Asia? Because I know in Korea that like fucking Tesla was like, if you didn't own Tesla shares, you were a punk.
Hey, Luz, did you have a ghost visit you last night?
No ghosts. Oh, but here's something funny. It's all the stocks that I was talking to them about. A few of them were just like, please just fix my portfolio. And I gave them like a diversified portfolio. and like a few of them were like that. And then the rest were pretty hard to convince. I had to throw like all these terms at them. And they were like, yo, very smart. And I was like, yeah, I am, bitch. And the one stock that everybody liked was Stellantis. And the one woman that wouldn't listen to me at all, like since a year ago, that was the only stock that she was she's like, I'm gonna buy was Stellantis. Everything else she was like, Microsoft's too safe. And I was like, Microsoft's beating your fucking NVIDIA over the past 3 years. She was like, but I don't. She's like, you're smart though, so I'm not smart like you. I was like, yeah, I'm trying to help you buy Stellantis.
Hey, Microsoft made me $1,000 this Christmas.
Hey, at least you got her to crack. finally admit some type of acknowledgement there.
Yeah. Now she wants me to drive her to the casino to Winstar.
Dang.
They didn't have any like they didn't have
Listen,
any
50
inside
bucks there,
info
50
from
bucks back.
Nah, she's cool. All those little Chinese women are cool. They were like sharing the whiskey. We're drinking whiskey like for like 5 hours all night till like 2 in the morning. They would not stop drinking.
Louis, why didn't you convince them to that you're a portfolio manager and you
Oh.
could have traded for them? Open up your own hedge fund.
Nah, they're all going through stuff like lawsuits. Everybody's getting sued. I don't know what's up with old Chinese women getting sued, but that just keeps happening.
Oh,
they didn't have
snap.
any picks from like mainland China, some like inside info on some like, damn company that's gonna be, like blow up in the next fucking year.
Nah, they're just buying shares of Tesla. They're like, I just buy Tesla every time it dips. I'm like, how are you not out of money?
I think he's just looking for insider info. Some friendly advice.
It's so
No,
funny though.
the Chinese will not extradite one of their own.
Though. Out here in New York, they have like they have the aqueduct. It's like a racetrack and casino, and they literally can't get enough buses to like bus all the old Chinese people from like Flushing, Queens, and Chinatown to go to the casino, and it's just like it's another world. They even have there's like they have this one game, I forget what it's got, like tiles and shit. I don't even know what it's called, but they have like electronic like
Mahjong.
I don't know. Can you gamble on Mahjong? Maybe it is, but like they have like video games of like this specific Chinese game that people gamble on. Like I'd never heard of this shit before until I was like installing it at the fucking casino.
Can we go back to bags? Anybody selling bags here? Some bricks?
Jesus.
No more bags for you, bro.
Old dude was talking about
I'm
Tesla.
not selling my
Fuck
bags
me.
because I'm holding on to them.
Big Sam.
What bags are those? Okay, go on.
I'm holding on to my GME and I'm holding on to my Nintendo.
Hi, everybody. Hello from Scotland. I'm Evil Marksman. How are we all doing?
Bloody well.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, I'm having a little non-buyer's remorse in my end of things.
Non-buyer's remorse.
Oh, what?
Well,
Listen, she wasn't worth it. She wasn't going to be that good anyways.
Hold on, hold on. Let him
I'm
speak,
gonna be
please.
very much slapped for saying
Oh, the spy did turn around.
I've never traded a stock, but there was one that I kept watching, because of the pandemic, and I should have went in on it, and it was Rolls Royce. And yeah, their stock more than tripled at one point after tanking so hard. You can look at the tracker yourselves. I was quite impressed with it.
What was it trading at right now?
Rolls. I need to pull it up. I'm pulling it off of the information off of Google.
$1.07.
Yeah.
Oh, it's climbed up quite a bit from when it went
Yes.
down to like 80 something cent.
Yes, it did. At one point, it was down at like 38. It's worth fucking nothing. Back in 2000. And I was like, it's gonna climb. It's gotta go back. Do you know? So.
Did you say you have a position on it, or you're just watching it?
Unfortunately, I've never traded, but I'd like to now that I actually have some income.
Gotcha. Okay.
That timing period was not a good one for me because I lost my job because I worked as a direct marketing salesman for a paintball company. So I used to spend my days encouraging people to shoot kids with paintball guns. Don't worry, sorry, we give the kids guns too.
Yeah, give the kids the guns, all of them.
Where is the dude that wanted to bet on the earnings of a cruise company? Where is he?
Oh, when did you get here?
Right now.
Oh, you mean journalists?
I'm
No,
serious.
no,
If you were to look at Rolls Royce and the way it's been behaving, I think.
Dude, we changed topics. Wait, let me find who the guy is.
All right.
Do you remember who was it that said that he's going to buy calls and I told him what's going to happen?
Calls on what?
On cruise lines because their earnings were coming up.
Oh, yeah, he was going Norwegian because he was gonna try to play it off the Carnival, and it went horribly.
Did
Oh,
it?
really?
I know a
Because
couple
I
of
told
guys.
him what's going to happen.
I know a
By
couple
the
of guys
man.
that went for cruise stocks, and they did alright actually.
Holy shit, market kind of bounced. Those IWM puts where I was up 150% that I closed out all of them. I let one free roll, which is now down 60%. So glad I took that profit.
The only reason I'm really talking about Rolls-Royce and I'm kind of passionate about it at the moment is because they're working on SMRs, which is small modular reactors. They're going to start with 6 in the UK. They've hired over 200 nuclear apprentices this year. They're working for, and it could be a long-haul trade on this, on their stock.
You see the new scale SMRs went from $58 a megawatt hour up to $100 a megawatt hour for the power.
I mean, you don't need to be smart to know that's good.
Yeah, but this is all news.
No.
It's all in the price.
Yeah, no, that's the power for the electricity it generates. So
yeah,
so the towns are bailing out. So maybe they'll go with Rolls-Royce if they can. New scale is out as far as competition.
The SMRs that Rolls-Royce are talking about can run for up to like between 10 to 20 and 60 years, and they're self-managing
Allegedly.
as well. Yeah, of course. You never know until it works, but they're building all the modular units and everything, and they're only starting with 6. There'll be probably a lot more. If you do have a look at the Rolls-Royce stuff they're working on, it looks quite interesting. And the idea as well is that these are going to be...
It's too late, my dude, for Rolls-Royce now, for you to buy in. It's all calculated already, the reactors and everything else.
Well, that's true, yeah.
Somebody else was selling bags here, other than the Rolls-Royce guy. Anybody selling bags?
Honestly, the journalist has been selling bags for, I don't know, 10 years.
Repeat that?
I don't know if you know him, but there's this guy called Journalist who's always just coming the most random moments ever. Just going, hey guys, I got a good food and good cold. And I remember when he was proposing to just, buy calls on the UK main index, and right after he was in the call, I think it shot up at least 50 base points, yeah, somewhere there.
I mean, journalist is a kind of special, but he but he made quite a good number of plays. If you hold up him, he had some plays in him.
Oh yeah, didn't he want
some plays in him until he's losing everything, So I'm still kind of bearish on his calls.
Here's the unfortunate part about journalists is if you subtract all the the sexism and the potentially racism and all the general bad parts of him, he actually made some good points. But if we don't have the technology to engineer him to where
he says you stabbed him in the back loose.
I stabbed him. He told that to me also.
He said you're a fucking snake.
I took the shitty. Okay, this is what happened.
Traitor, he said. You're a traitor, he said.
Luz is the snake. That's true.
Just
I don't disagree.
This is what happened. He came on, he said all that shit, and then he made like 1-2 good points, and I was like, okay, maybe we can fix this. Everyone loves a good everybody loves a good turnaround story, right? And then I talked to him on the server, actually, on Discord. And like I was like, let's do this publicly so everybody knows I'm not just fucking like oh, you're my fanboy, I like you. It's nothing like that. I try to help him out. I got hate from you guys, some other guys, and then I get hate from him for trying to do the right thing. And now he's still sexist and racist. Is what
you got hate because you're a snake, Luz.
Because I'm a snake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a Melvin Capital snake.
You lost your only fanboy.
He worships Hardy too, right?
Yeah, he moved on to Hardy now.
Oh,
I thought he didn't like Hardy.
Yeah,
Hardy.
he went from hating Hardy to like, oh yeah, he's smart man. He's got good plays.
That's because he doesn't need Luce anymore.
You know,
Used
Yeah,
him.
I was gonna say, didn't he call Hardy autistic? This motherfucker.
Yes, he did.
But is that a bad thing to say to somebody?
He said
In
Hardy
traders
jerks off to
world-
Thetas in Vegas.
Yeah, that's a compliment.
Around
In
here,
finance,
it
when
is.
somebody calls you autistic, it means you're smart.
Hey, Luce, are you gonna make it up to journalists or no?
Make it up.
Hey,
What?
so am I smart?
I think you
I
have to.
said
Well, are
in
you gonna help
finance.
them understand?
I said in finance, Mask, not at your mother's basement.
You know, guys, my problem with Jonas is he's just too enthusiastic about some things because sometimes he just drops in here and says, "Oh, buy this stock, go along." I don't care. Problem is, his DD is sometimes just so surface level. It sounds like a pump and dump most of the time, you know.
Dude, he could have
Wait,
bumped
the
and
comment
dumped if
that
he wanted
really
to.
I didn't like that he had said, he's like, oh, you should be paying me for all this good advice I'm giving you.
Oh yeah.
And he was right. You should be
That's
paying
right.
him.
We should be thanking him.
Yeah. Good advice, bro.
Yeah,
Nice.
you should. Yeah.
Sounds like someone
wait,
trying to sell me some Bitcoin.
Did somebody say that he just sounds like he's pumping stuff? I thought that's what 99% of y'all sound like. Like,
Yeah, but
I mean,
but
don't get
we
me wrong.
get
I hate journalists, but that's what most of you try to do.
yeah, but he does it for free.
Hey.
I actually get paid to pump.
He does
We're
it.
just
So does
sharing,
everybody.
wait, stop. I'm just
You get
sharing
paid.
the,
Oh shit!
I'm kidding.
I didn't know we had more Citadel employees here.
Can I just ask a really stupid question from
I'm Kenny, by the way.
based on the idea
Kenny
that
from
Warren
Citadel.
Buffett is only 92 years old, right? Would it be a bad idea to short Berkshire Hathaway stocks on the idea that he dies in the next 2 years?
What the fuck?
I said that like
Well, just I
I
think
said
you
that at
know
the beginning of
the
this
idea
year,
is
and people were like,
just
"No, it's not a
short
problem."
the UK index once the Queen's die. You know. Oh man.
Did the index fell once the Queen died?
I don't know.
I feel like they're
You
gonna,
know what I mean?
Go
Like,
check. You're from UK. Come on. You know when your Queen died. Check the markets.
Oh no, I'm not the UK.
they're gonna cryogenically freeze Buffett like Walt Disney, and he's never gonna die.
Can we ask the Scottish guy what he thinks of the Queen dying?
I'm
No,
extremely
no
indifferent.
politics.
Okay.
There's my answer.
Hey, I got a trade. Maybe we'll see.
Is it a pump and dump?
Yeah,
Pump and
oh,
dump.
totally a pump and dump. That's all I do. Everybody knows. Hey, who
Yes,
here?
sir.
When's the last time? Like, can we do a rule whenever somebody says like, "Oh, everybody knows how I trade," or "Everybody knows me," and this? Whenever somebody says that, can everybody shun them? Because I think it's fucking annoying.
Can
It's
we
like,
stab
no.
them?
Yeah, like
Oh,
nobody,
no,
nobody
that kind of
knows.
reminds me.
Wait, when somebody says what?
Like when people come up and say like, "Well, yeah, you guys know, people know that I like, to trade options like this." Like I say, shun them, call them retards, because no, we don't know. They're probably
I
losing
remember
money.
when a journalist was just fuck on Christmas. I think yesterday and Christmas. I don't know. Was just talking about, oh, guys, you know me. I'm a humble guy, and even though I'm comparatively rich, I'm not trying to.
I love that.
I'm not trying.
No, but that's nothing. That's not what Lou says. Lou said it when somebody said like, "You guys know me. You know I'm into Palantir. You know I told you about this stock or that stock." Like nobody fucking knows, dude.
Hell no.
I think those are called hindsight moments. I
No
love those
one who
hindsight
is
moments.
ever humble started off a sentence by saying, "You know I'm humble."
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, that said, everybody knows that I'm a value. I'm just kidding. Hey, so Poshmark, I don't think they've had their meeting yet. They're supposed to have a shareholder meeting to vote on the acquisition. If somebody's seen that, if they've already gotten the results out, let me know. But I don't see it yet. But they're supposed to be acquired at $17.90 per share. They're trading at $17.88 right now, 89 cents.
Who's picking them up?
You're looking for an arbitrage
It's them-
play?
Well, okay, here's the thing. The deal is terrible for investors because investors are bag holding big time, right? But I think this is all they can get. Poshmark's businesses it's okay. It's not that good. So I think there's a chance that the shareholders reject the deal. So I'm shorting the shares directly. If the deal goes through or if the vote is approved, the price won't go above 17.90. I mean, I guess it's possible if some weird shenanigans happen, right? But if the shareholders say no, there's probably some decent downside, like real quick downside on the table here.
So why? What? Go ahead.
No, that's what's up? What's up?
So why did you say you want to wait till earnings? Why wait till earnings?
No.
Why not
What
just
earnings? No.
Oh, because you said
There's a
vote.
shareholder vote that's supposed to be held today. I'm trying to see if it's already been held. I don't see anything. Somebody let me know if you
Oh,
think
okay,
something.
gotcha.
The acquisition price is $17.90 per share. It's trading at $17.89 right now. If the vote isn't approved, the price could drop like significantly. I don't know, maybe 10%, maybe more, because the stock was trading at $14 before they announced the acquisition offer. So I don't think it's a good deal for shareholders. They could approve it and just say, whatever, we don't care anymore. We just want our money. That's always a possibility. But I don't think it's a good deal for the shareholders. So I think there's a chance that they reject it. I'm going to say it's like 50-50. So if you shorted the shares right now, your max risk is like 1-2 cents per share. But you could gain, I don't know, like let's go on the low end, at least 5% within a day. Maybe it goes down, maybe it drops to 14. That's a pretty good gain, you know. So you're looking at like closer to 20% if it drops back down closer to 14 and shareholders reject it. So that's a pretty good return.
They should take that money. I mean, my ex she owns like a vintage store in Manhattan, and like she's in the whole secondhand clothing world, and like that nobody ever really talks about them because it's kind of so easy to start your own shit these days.
Yeah.
Why do you still know what your ex does?
Yeah.
Leave her alone, dude.
Like it's like whether it's a good company or not, it's just whether the shareholders approve it today. And they're already like, if they haven't done the vote yet, they're probably literally about to do it. So there's no like value, there's no business analysis required here. I think it's a shitty price for the shareholders, and there's a chance they could reject it. But I put it at 50-50. But who knows? Maybe you lose 1 to 2 cents. Maybe you make $1, $2. That's
Is
not a
this
bad
for
trade.
quick in and out, or are you looking to hold that short?
No, like Simple said, only pump and dumps for me. Only pump and dumps always. Everybody knows me and my pump and dumps.
Because he's a snake, remember?
Yeah. No,
That's
no,
right.
it's just
He is a snake.
He's a traitor, remember.
If the vote is approved, if they approve of the acquisition, then get out because there's no point in staying in. There's no trade. Trade's off the table.
Right.
If
Who's
it does
acquiring
drop,
them?
then get out. You make your money. Naver, Naver, it's a Korean I guess e-commerce or maybe retail store, something like that.
But I don't understand why is this a bad thing for shareholders who, as you said, like the price was just $14 not too long ago.
Well, the price was 105 when they IPO'd. So
Tesla was $400. Now it's less.
Meta was 300.
All right, never mind.
Who is going to continue?
It's a good deal. You convinced me.
I'm just saying, like, why? It's not a good price. Things change.
Tina, sorry, Liz, can I send you a news article on something that I've been keeping an eye on for a while? It's basically about a gas line that could circumvent Iran and Russia that would run gas to the whole of Europe via Turkey using the Turkmenistan gas line.
Yeah, that's never going to happen. It's all news.
No, they're still considering it right now. I know
yeah.
they've been considering it way back from like around 2014 or something, but now it's become a much more realistic thing.
Are you saying specifically Turkey or Turkmenistan? Because if it's Turkmenistan, it's definitely not going to happen.
Wow,
Russia still has their foot in there.
Yeah,
I would say it's probably more Turkey would be.
No, it's not. No, it's not. It's Turkmenistan.
I'm going to listen to you because it sounds like more your area of the world.
Good one. But yeah.
I thought I heard that Turkey was kind of like Russia's middleman for the the black market oil that they were
Hey,
selling.
no, Simple's Russia's middleman. Isn't that right?
Yeah, that's true. But I'm not Russian. But yeah, let's not talk about the speculation things that are not gonna happen and that we cannot trade and that we cannot affect on.
No, I just thought I would ask about like if it could be a thing to look at and trade on in the future.
Luz, what's the cost to borrow on that Poshmark?
Let me check real quick. We're looking at about 0.4%, so it's nothing.
Yeah, if I remember right, you talked about you've been in this play for a while. You were kind of using it like a more or less free loan, correct?
Yeah, so maybe it's been a couple months.
Yeah,
and I got in
like
like, yeah, I got in like
like it.
1784. I can't remember. Maybe 1780. But yeah, it was basically a short-term loan because interest rates are really high. What personal loans? Some of you guys are probably being quoted like 12, 14%. And then I look at Poshmark and I'm like, I can short this thing. And considering the gap between the market price then and the acquisition price, and then the cost to borrow, it was going to be like a 1.5% annualized cost to borrow money to short the shares. So yeah, I've been using it as a short-term loan, but I guess time is up.
Very sad.
I like to play.
It's been insightful, guys. I'm gonna dip. I'm gonna play some Wasteland 3 and enjoy myself, and then I don't know, make some meatballs or something for dinner.
Yeah, make those meatballs. Meatballs ain't gonna make themselves.
So if you're so confident on this play, was this one of the plays that you recommended to your lady friends?
No, I said it's 50-50. Like I gave it a 50-50 chance. They say no, but the thing is, the reward is potentially $1 to $2. You're only risking like 1 or 2 cents, and should be announced by today. But again, if somebody sees it, let me know.
Would be a good.
I'm looking for it.
Good reward.
Don't you have a Bloomberg, right? You should get that before everybody else.
No comment. No, I'm
Yeah.
poor.
If he has Bloomberg, that will mean he works at Citadel.
Yeah, there's no way.
Yeah, that's not looking good. If you have Bloomberg, you know what that means.
Hey, did you guys like the pictures that I shared with Opinion of the Citadel party?
I still think I'm the one that took those.
Yeah, no, that was me. That was me at Citadel. Didn't y'all know?
So Luce, the play is to buy January 2024 out of the money calls on Poshmark. You're thinking?
Yeah, everybody do that right now. And I'm just gonna go back to my desk and make some transactions on Poshmark.
Yeah, report.
Hey, can you tell Kenny I said hi?
Yeah, he's here in the office right now.
We call him Ken, just Ken. Yeah, but we'll call him Kenny, but like Kennie, not with a Y. It's cute.
Kenny boy.
And once this talk is over, we all meet by the water fountain and we trash talk you all, just so you know.
Oh, Vice is there too. Okay.
Yeah, the water fountain shoots out champagne, not water.
You guys need a janitor?
Okay, boys. Just a quick question. A very important question. What should I eat for lunch? Honestly, I'm kind of out of
caviar,
ideas.
Spaghetti and meatballs,
curry,
roasted turtle.
No, he's Scottish. It's clearly it's haggis. That's the only thing he can eat is haggis.
Well, that depends. Do you have bags? If you're holding bags, you might as well just put meatballs in your mouth. If you're not holding
I'm
bags,
making ramen in my mom's basement right now.
Somebody say balls in the mouth.
Don't you all eat T-bone
meatballs.
steak for lunch?
Tesla stumping.
How about a banger in the mouth?
Come on.
It's normal.
Dump for the bitch.
What are you like talking dirty to Tesla? Like you in
Yeah.
bed?
Yeah.
Ooh,
It's kind of funny, kind of ironic, because I was always kind of on Elon fanboy, but I share his vision, pushing humanity forward. But now I'm just thinking, fuck you, bro. Dump.
You know what's really weird? Something I noticed is one of those high level brain things that you notice.
Yeah.
People really liked Elon Musk when the Tesla stock price was going up, and people really hate Elon Musk when the stock price is going down. It's the
Ooh,
strangest thing.
careful.
Science.
Careful.
Almost
Look at
the same
all
as
these-
GME.
You're gonna unleash the bears on you.
Now, honestly, I've always shared his opinion, rather supported his vision. Problem, even though the stocks were going down, but the problem
Which one?
is
9 Wives or? I share the same vision. Which vision do you share with him? I said 9 Wives.
I mean, no comment.
It's like
Impregnating all your employees.
Yeah, you know, marketing, sales, everything.
First of all, I think that's his dad's vision, not Elon's vision.
Well, the problem is, just doesn't make sense anymore. He's kind of going back and forth, and that just. Where's the visionary? It's just
Bro,
a
he's
fraud,
been
man.
saying since 2016 it's overvalued.
Hey, real quick, because I just noticed a few people asked. Ticker was Poshmark POSH. This is Poshmark. Max loss maybe 1 to 2 cents. Gain maybe $1, $2. It's 50-50 chance shareholders reject the proposal.
Since we're reading comments, this is a great one. Why don't you people just make me money? It's a brilliant comment.
I mean, all you gotta do is inverse us. Just inverse us, and you'll be making money.
Just
I'm
tell
on
him to buy
Zelle.
more AMC.
On Zelle, you just send me your money, and then I'll make it for you. Everybody, offer stands for everyone. My email is looseventures@Citadel.
Fuck. Now you gave it up.
Damn it.
Look. It's a very interesting business idea I've got going on. It's basically sort of multi-level marketing, but without being illegal, you know? Just dipping a little bit into that direction, you know?
Imagine, no, really, like, imagine this. Imagine going to school, getting into one of the hardest places to get into, financial institution that paid incredibly well. I'm calling Citadel. And you're here spending your time on Reddit. Like, that sounds very fucking logical.
On Wall Street
that-
Bets above all else.
Yeah, modding
Yeah.
Wall Street Bets. That sounds so logical.
I work at Citadel. I make all this money manipulating everybody's stock prices, and instead of being like in fucking like in Barbados,
Malibu or Croatia.
Here. Yeah, fucking Croatia. I'm here moderating Wall Street Bets. That's what Citadel employees do. They care that much.
Truly
Apparently, they
I mean,
did
that is
so
true.
well this year. Apparently, that they're.
Well, how can I
getting money
manipulate the
from-
market if I'm not manipulating the people who lose money on it?
That's true.
Well, my tinfoil hat theory with Citadel is that they the whole entire game store saga was manufactured, so they let a couple people win big to keep the sheep just shoveling money into the fire for like the next decade. So like you would
Wait.
like let people
Are you serious?
win.
Wait. Are you being
No.
sincere right now?
No, this is a joke kind of tinfoil hat theory.
Okay. Because it's not a theory, because actual hedge funds died from it. They exploded.
Yeah, they
So
died.
it's not
They're good people. A lot of lives. A lot of hedge fund lives lost.
They got killed. They got
Couple of
stabbed.
Melvins.
A lot of good, hard-working managers. Am I right?
But I mean, as a sort of unseen side effect of the whole thing, that like all these people all these amateur retail traders came into the market and have this like idea that they can then get rich quick and just throw money at like.
Oh, really? What about
meme
crypto?
stocks and
Crypto's been
what
going
about
on
crypto?
for like 5 years, 7 years.
I mean, people there also think they can make money. It's not meme
Yeah.
stocks.
Well, no, I mean, I'm not. I'm just saying that there's a whole entire new world of like.
No. But
people
what's
to
the
exploit.
difference? No. But what's the difference? Do you think that stock market is more accessible than crypto is to younger generation retail traders?
No, I'd say it's about equal.
No, I wouldn't say it's about equal. I would say crypto is much more out there than stock market is.
Depends on what kind
I'll
of
buy into
financial-
Homeboy's theory.
Kind of depends on what kind of financial products we're talking about. I mean, stocks are arguably about the same level as crypto, but and
It really
ETFs
isn't.
as well. But when
It
it comes
really
to
isn't.
things like
Crypto, like-
options or what we're usually dealing with, I can see some retards going ball to the walls YOLO, but most of them are not going to dip into those waters. If
Yeah,
they want to,
but they don't do that on crypto.
Yeah. If they want to gamble, they're just going to gamble on crypto. They're too stupid. They're too stupid for.
I mean, crypto jumped the shark. I think when I realized that you could buy crypto on like Cash App, which is like, which is what the entire unbanked population of like.
Where did he go?
Yeah, I think he left.
I think the hedge funds got him.
I think he went to check on his crypto portfolio.
I like.
Oh man.
I watch the stock market a lot more now that I'm holding all these, bags.
Hey, I got an idea. Okay, so I know there are people that are like, you're like the Britney Spears meme with crypto. You're like, leave crypto alone. So here's an idea for your crypto companies. By the way, actually, no, I'm not going to say it. Simple. I was going to pull a Simple and say I told you so. I'm not going to say it yet. I'm not going to say it. But what I think the crypto exchanges should do is they should charge you a fee every time you want to check your portfolio. And then if they do that, I will flip my short positions into long positions. I think that's the way to go for that. They can hire me. I'm here. I'm waiting. I'll be at my Citadel desk.
People wouldn't just leave the exchange then.
It's a joke. Ella, it's a joke.
Yeah, I know, but
wink, wink. I see you at your Citadel desk, Simple.
By the way, how much does a Bloomberg cost? Like per year?
Was 25K.
Yeah, 20,000, 25.
25. Oh shit, I don't know that.
Yeah, we don't know that.
Yeah, you can get a discount if you use promo code GME though.
There's different levels of it. I think you can subscribe to too. There's like different tiers of data that you can get.
No, I think
Yes,
there's only
I figured
one.
out how to buy a Ripple, and I've slowly been trickling into it to see if they win that at SDE or SDE thing.
It's SEC.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Hard to spell that one, but yeah, I don't know if Ripple's gonna win against the SEC.
Nah, that's a new agency, right, Luz? That one.
Yeah. It's a new coin.
What did they
SEC
do?
coin.
Yeah, but what did you do? That agency? What's
They
what's the
pretend to
acronym
regulate.
stands for?
Oh, opinion. What's the acronym SEC stand for?
Not SEC, the new one. The new one.
Middle word, Elon's.
Sexy equities.
Suck Elon's cock? You said it, not me, opinion.
Well, I don't think I did.
We're gonna
Although
have to put
they
one
do,
of those
yeah, they do
signs.
suck his cock.
We're gonna have to put one of those signs that says, how many days since cock, since the last time cock was said.
Great. Oh God. All right.
we gotta
Well,
fit it.
how much is he down now, anyways? Like 160
Demi,
billion.
give me that cookie. Give me that cookie. Show it in my office.
Got your mic open, or
is office slang for something simple?
No.
His
I want him
office.
to pass me the cookie. He's in the office next to mine. Come on, Danny, give me. I can see you eating.
Denny, hey, update from the Chinese. I text my friend, the 70, I think she's like 75 years old. She's the one that wants me to drive her to the casino. I say, good morning. Stock market's finally open again. When are we going to the casino? She said in terrible formatting, market sucks. Tesla's and Apple down to shit pile. Casino sounds good. Let me check. So I'll keep providing updates from my old gambling Chinese lady friends.
Ask her if she plays Pai Gao. That's the name of the game I remembered. That's what they all play out here.
You wreck discipline.
Ah, fuck.
I can't believe you think that Luce would be hanging out with Pai Gao players and not Baccarat players. How good do you think he is?
But I think he's more of a Texas Hold'em kind of guy, you know?
I'm actually a butt pirate, so I play a lot of butt darts.
Butt plugs.
Hey, here's a question. Does everybody here, what do y'all think? Do Americans and and by Americans, I mean the most important Americans, U.S. Do Americans get skinnier during a recession, or do they gain weight? What do y'all think?
Nah, fast
Gain.
food is still too cheap.
They gain weight.
Way too cheap.
Gain weight.
Gain.
Gains? Yeah, y'all don't even know what that is, do y'all?
What?
Oh,
We know that.
That's why during a recession, like McDonald's and Domino's fucking stock like goes through the roof.
Good point.
No.
I heard during a recession they actually bring down the price of healthy food to make it more affordable for people to eat healthy.
Who's they? Big Veggie?
Big Veggie.
No, Citadel.
Yeah, that's also our department. We control.
PP.
We work in produce.
Yes.
PP, you sound like journalist. Is this your alt account?
He's way too respectful.
Oh yeah, there's no way. He's not sexist enough.
He's not humble enough, in my opinion.
Can we go back to bags? Who's holding bags?
Yeah, you see, he sounds like journalist, doesn't he?
I just want to change the conversation.
Okay, hey, well, hang on. Quick update. I'm trying to find out. The source is StockTwits, so I have I need to confirm this, but some guy said that the Poshmark vote was pushed back to January. So I'm trying to confirm that if that's the case, you're just going to have to pay the cost to borrow, cost to short the shares through then. But it goes back to what Titty pointed out earlier. It was a short-term loan, but I wouldn't look at it like that for you poors. Don't look at it like that. But yeah, potentially the votes gap, it's been pushed back to January. I'm trying to confirm.
January when?
I don't know. I'm trying to look into it.
If it gets pushed back, then that means it should fall a little.
Yeah.
And since you're using 100x leverage, I mean, that's pretty big payday.
It's the Citadel way.
Citadel's holding bags, but they're big ass bags of fucking money. They're just
You should do a box spread.
No, we should do a Bible with rules. How to trade. Margin call.
No, I think a box spread is the ideal position play for Poshmark right now.
We better do all this now, because at the last all hands, they were like, "Oh, we should probably create a risk management department, the compliance department." So we better.
Didn't they say? Wasn't the main point of the last meeting to ban GME on the sub? I think that was the takeaway home point.
Yeah. We already did that.
What
you guys need?
Drama over the weekend. Sorry to ask a stupid question, but
Nope, can't talk about that. No, not denigrating any other communities. Nothing happened.
By the way, just a quick question. Now I'm kind of confused. Has journalist been banned or what?
He's back. He can hop in anytime. I don't know how long he'll last, but he can hop in.
We'll keep him in a cage.
Gotcha.
Sometimes he's banned, sometimes not.
Yeah, he's like a feral dog that we're gonna keep in a cage, just so everybody can like poke at it, as Americans like to do.
Oh fuck.
Did anybody see MV? I don't know how to pronounce his name. MVAA. He's good because he been around at all. You know the guy that buys all the NFTs.
You're gonna have to be more specific here.
No, he's the guy buying all the NFTs in WallStreetBet.
He's talking about Scald.
No, I'm not.
See, I told you you're gonna have
Don't
to be
worry,
more
he's
specific.
not talking about Scald.
That one guy on Wall Street Bets buying all the NFTs.
You know him. Wait, I'll write the name in the comments. I think this is
MWMViv. Yeah, he hasn't said anything on Discord since like December 20th, but I'm sure he's just on Christmas break.
Yeah, there's the name.
So
He's reloading.
if they'd like to join us, they could probably raise their hand.
MVev is in the audience. He's chilling.
No, it's MVIA. Two different people. MVEV.
I've never heard
MVEA.
MVev talk about NFTs.
That's what I was thinking, but I'm not familiar with the guy on Wall Street Bets that's buying all the NFTs. So really, it could be anybody.
I wrote the name. That's him. Notes knows who I'm talking about.
I just want to talk shit because a couple weeks ago, when I talked about buying Tesla puts at the $50 strike price, you guys told me, "Oh, I can never
Here we
get that
fucking
low.
go.
You'll never make money." And they were trading at 4 cents per contract. Now they're trading at 17 cents.
Dijon, if you don't provide proof of those contracts that the position you're getting back, didn't we say like 10 minutes ago not to talk shit about things in the past that we know that you did or said?
We're gonna have Citadel steal your house if you don't provide proof.
Dijon,
So
proof.
do I go timestamp the Wall Street Bets talk and post?
No. You need to provide the proof for the contracts. Put it on your profile. Let's see it.
Dude, this is like standard for the sub, man.
Oh, nah, just post it in the comments. You can put images in the comments now. It's a lot easier. Or just post it to the sub.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Just provide proof anyway. But yeah, you can comment with the picture.
I thought you guys were like,
opinion. I've been dying to post images to the sub. I could finally post lost porn when I finally get it.
You're welcome. That'll be $8.
You just imagine if every person in Wall Street Bets just came up on stage. Oh, I told you guys. I told you. Yeah, get the fuck out of here.
Almost at an $8,000 loss. I'm about $2,000 away from postable lost porn.
Jesus Christ, Mass.
Oh yeah, I got a 62% loss officially on Lucid right now.
Mass, that's a lot of money for somebody that's poor.
If only somebody tried to tell you, Mass.
That's what I'm talking
But
about.
I can buy more shares for cheap now.
You know, you could have bought a hell of a lot more shares if you fucking cashed out a long time ago. You ever think about that?
No, he didn't.
Buying CFDs. Fuck.
Dude, Lucid is like it's like the money printer for me. I've started buying puts. What was that, like 40? I started buying. Oh my god, it's been like a year. I started buying puts at 40, and then I make 100%. I cash them out, and then I buy more like further out of the money. I've done that since it was at 40, and I keep making over 100%. I bought it got so ridiculous that I was like, okay, I've made enough. I was like, I'm satisfied. But I was like, you know, I'm gonna still buy some more puts. So I bought some March Strike 8 puts, but I only bought like 10. It wasn't a big deal. I was like, I don't need to short this that much anymore because I made so much damn money. I'm like, maybe the stock price does come back at some point. I bought those puts. I'm up 180% on those, and they expire in March. It's just like free money.
Dang, how much is Citadel paying you?
They pay me in Robux.
Oof. I hope those are shorts are paying you.
I want those free Robux myself.
All right. So you guys talked about your bags. What about
any gainers?
That's my heaviest. Just so everybody knows, Lucid is my heaviest bag.
Dude, I think everybody knows. I don't think you have to point it out anymore.
Well, I made some slight gains with scalping Tesla today. Just shorting CFDs, you know.
Wait. Are you using CFDs?
Yep.
Oh, Johnny boy.
Buddy.
How much are you down for a year?
No, I'm not doing anything. I was just play money.
Yeah, he's a pro.
No.
How much still be a loss?
Honestly, like 0.1% my net worth, like 100 euros, and I made like, I don't know, 15 or 20 euros on this. So
okay. So for everybody that doesn't know, CFDs is a contract for future difference. It's an instrument that's banned in the US because it's basically fucking gambling. And the
no, wait.
the company that you're using, I presume, is trading 212, right?
What?
The company, the stock app that you're using, it's trading 212.
eToro.
Oh, eToro. Okay, same shit.
Yeah.
So the companies trading 212, they make like 90% of their money from the CFDs. And in the future, this is just a bullshit statement, putting it out there. I think we're going to see what's going to happen with those instruments is they're going to get banned because somebody's going to find out that they're using the same shit as FTX did with Alameda, because they know what your prices are, what your position is, and they can trade against it, just like Alameda did against the FTX users. So yeah, you're not going to win if you trade on CFDs.
Well, unlike my comrade here, keep going. Don't stop and post results.
You see, journalists also uses comrade.
Okay.
My
I
problem
don't.
is
Found him.
CFDs.
What are you trying to say?
Target located.
No, I think you're a journalist.
Okay. All right.
So my problem with CFDs is just, it's for some people it makes sense to be. For some people, it is a gamble because they don't give a shit of analysis. To some degree, those spreads can fuck you up, yeah. But honestly, if you just go for some little scalps, just a little scalp trading and some swing trading on your DD as a fundamentals, of course. But otherwise, of course, you're not going to gamble like 100% of your net worth into CFDs. We're not trading. It's not the same as options, right?
It sounds. Is it like a
But it
retail
isn't the
version of
same.
like a? Is it like a retail version of like a market return swap? Like it's like a total market return swap.
No, the closest thing that you have it, I think, is with crypto. So you trade on a margin. So you say, hey, let's say, I don't know, AMC is gonna go up now, and everything that you put out, I think it's, if you're a noob, then you have like ×5 margin. If you're a pro, ×20, whatever it is.
Oh, you can go up to 100. By the way, you can go up to 100.
Yeah, I don't know. I was at 20. So
I always see all these. Yeah.
yeah, but it
It's always-
also it depends on the instrument. That's also